And I can edit this out. Hello and welcome to the PEDDLER'S podcast. Yeah, on a different channel, a dead podcast, aka the Paper Movies After Show.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Just got done talking about Godzilla King of the Monsters from 2019.
And let me introduce, for those of you who are not familiar with my co-hosts of Paper Movies, I have Matthew, TheGeeksAttic.
Hi.
And Adam from Bryant's Nerd Pub. If you're familiar with Star Wars Legends podcast, both of these people have been on several times. Although, Matthew, you need to do an apology for leading me astray and causing us to re-record an episode of the Legends podcast.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll make you a thumbnail.
There we go. I do need a new Legends thumbnail, that's for sure.
Okay.
You know what I do need, to be completely honest?
What's that?
I need a disc case problems thumbnail, and I am fresh out of idea on how to approach that.
We got someone in the comments. Hi, Jeffrey Watson.
Yeah, something that we should probably mention here. It's going to be a little bit weird for the podcast form, but we missed all the comments in the Paper Movies show because we wanted to stay on topic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like to bring up a lot of Star Wars stuff and other questions, and we could get thrown off topic really easy. So that we kind of just ignored a lot of the comments with just pure heart,
Mm-hmm.
Ignored with love, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like next time we can copy down some of those questions or whatever people are bringing up that's not related to the subject at hand, and go into more random discussions after the Paper Movies discussion. So
and also I kind of wanted to ask some rules because I'm not clear. So Paper Movies, we definitely review movie novelizations as in they were written for the movie.
Yes.
That's not to say that they're novels that then get turned into movies.
Yeah.
It's
kind of when I thought of it, it was like Jaws was a novel before a movie, so I wouldn't consider that a novelization. Maybe right. Jaws 2 would be fine because that was written after the movie or for the movie. Yeah,
mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, that's when you get into the weird zone of like Jurassic Park, right? That was written first as a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Congo written as a book first.
Yes. Lost World was written as a book, but it was a book first, but it was a response to the movie. That's a whole nother topic that I never realized until the current book I'm reading, Death Sentence, which is the sequel to Death Wish, which yes, Death Wish got a novel before it was a novel before it was a movie. The author Brian Garfield didn't like Death Wish, the movie. Like, he hated what they did with his story. So he wrote Death Sentence as like a response to that. And then the people making Death Wish 2 just crapped all over that book and basically just took the fact that the main character, Paul, his daughter's killed. But it's like totally different, like different setting. Oh, also Paul dresses up in a disguise to continue his vigilante ways. Like he dresses as a bum.
We also got some more people joining us. Hello again, Rob D. Anomalous Tech, hello there. And Brady Perkins, hello. Thank you guys for joining us. And Rob D, I saw your comment about Dawn of the Jedi, and that was kind of my thoughts, but I'm glad I'm glad I'm not on Jeremy's channel because he probably would have booted me immediately.
Yeah. Blasphemy. That's a good book. I don't know. Wait until you read Karen Miller's Gambit duology, and then you'll realize that there is no other like worse EU books other than that duology. Like, they made me bald.
Just your hair,
my hair buzzed itself. Like, it wasn't my psoriasis was really bad. I had to cut my hair.
Oh man! So Rob D, what did Rob D say about the book?
He said, from what I remember, he said it was boring.
Yeah, he was 100 pages in.
Yeah. He was 100 pages in, and he said he was boring.
Right.
And
I believe. 100% agree with that. The whole thing, boring. It's
like
Jeremy's favorite book.
I said in my review, I kind of had to. It was only I only finished it because I was going to review it. So
you had to be nice, and you gave it 2 grades. You're like, this book. What did you give it? Like a? Well, I guess we don't have to talk about that if you don't want to.
oh, no, that's fine. I just had a hard time. I went back and forth, and I said it's not as horrible as I thought it was going to be. So I'll be fair and give it a C-. But it could have very easily been lower than that. But
yeah, I gave it a pretty low score, I believe. I remember I used to have like a 1 through 5 grading scale, then I moved to A, like to F type situation. So I can't remember what I gave the book, but it was a pretty low score. So
I gave it 4 out of 5, I think.
4 out of 5?
I think that's what I gave it. But that was last year. I'll remember a book's story for a very long time, but I will not remember what grade I gave it unless it was incredible or really terrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Yak Face. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, Yak Face enjoyed the book review of Dawn of the Jedi from Adam.
And he said it's not as bad as people think in his opinion. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, I disagree, but I'm glad that, like, that's fine. Like, we encourage other people to have, to read the books themselves. And, if they enjoy it, great. And if they don't, that's fine too.
Yeah. Somebody out there likes the Crystal Star. Don't know why, but hey.
I mean, I don't think it's as terrible as you claim.
But I'm happy for people that like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a seat for everybody's rear end, I said that wrong, I think. But anyway, Brady says, have any of you read the comic Terminator 1984 and starting it and wondering if it's any good?
Is this one of the new miniseries, or is this the original Terminator Dark Horse series that was the original Terminator 2? Because I've read that, and I don't remember it very well, but I remember liking it. I love that early Dark Horse sort of feel with their comics, like up until like Dark Empire, where it was just they had this like gritty style to them. Like the Aliens comics are really awesome. I reviewed them on my channel. The Predator comic is super neat, where the Predators have an invasion of New York. That's a thing that happens.
They invade New York?
Yeah, in the original storyline. Pretty gnarly.
I mean, was that after the second?
No, this is before Predator 2.
Okay.
See, in fact, Predator 2 pulls a lot of the storyline from that first Predator comic. The difference is that the main character is the brother of Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in the comic. He's the older brother, and so he's also jacked. He basically looks like Arnold, but blonde.
We got Holocron Keeper, Evan. So.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Evan. Thanks for joining us.
Scott Johnson says, I don't think the Crystal Star is terrible. You're wrong. Just kidding. Just kidding. But Rywolf's? It's Rywolf's. I don't remember what that is.
I don't know.
Anybody?
Is that like Ghostlings? I remember the Ghostlings.
Rob D.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
Rob D keeps a list of Star Wars books that he's read from a 5-star system, basically less than 3 stars equals an F. Yeah. I
was going to say Matt Wilkins said something like that in my comments on my review. He said anything above an F is too generous.
That's funny.
Matt also kind of defended Planet of Twilight today, and I was a little vexed about that. Callista's not that great of a character.
No.
She's okay. Like, honestly, I like her better when she's written by Karen Travis. That's so bizarre to say, but she shows up in No Prisoners, and she's awesome. Also, it's cool to see her with her husband, who's also a Jedi. Like, they're a cool pairing, and her master's, like, pretty awesome. And they're just like a sect of the Jedi that doesn't agree with Yoda, so they go to the unknown region and stuff and help people out.
That's interesting. I'm guessing that's what is this book?
This is No Prisoners. This is a Clone Wars story.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that has to be after Outbound Flight then.
Yeah, well, Pellion's in it. Pellion's one of the main characters. Pellion and Rex from Clone Wars are like good buddies in it. It's also the only time you'll ever get Rex's thought process in a book, which is fascinating. Also, it's I think the canon reason why Ahsoka wears more clothes in the later seasons of Clone Wars. Because Pellion makes her wear like military fatigues because he says you won't dress that way on my ship.
Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Karen Travis throwing a jab at Filoni there.
When it comes to paper movies, would like graphic novels that came because of the movie count too, like this one?
Oh man, that's a whole nother beast though.
That is. That could be a little bonus after the show bonus type situation because there's a comic for Dragon Slayer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which if you guys left the stream early last time, that just ended, we announced the next read, which is Dragon Slayer 1981. You can get a copy on eBay, real cheap.
Yeah, published by Del Rey.
Got a whole month to do it in a couple days.
Or just knock on Matthew's door. He has like 7.
Almost as many copies.
That's where I get mine.
I'll charge you more. No, we got some people here in the comments. Brady Perkins said also about that comic about the Terminator. It was Dark Horse. Took place right after the Terminator movie. Holocron Keeper Evan, the Mudro Kudro children. I still don't know. I'm still at a loss there. Matt, hey, Matt.
I was wondering the same thing. No, I'm kidding, Evan.
Michael Bray. Hey, Michael Bray. That's my brother-in-law, everybody.
Oh.
Just throw Michael up there on the screen. There you go, Mike. Hey, Michael, so if you're still here, give us some crazy Star Wars theory about what you think High Republic is going to have in it. He always has great Star Wars theories and stuff. We got Matt Wilkins. Hi, Evan. So he's making fun of Holocron Keeper Evan.
Yeah, can I mention the bookstore, like what he said to us at the bookstore? Well, when me and Matthew met up at the bookstore the other day, and I sent Matt Wilkins a video message, and then he was jokingly calling us both, wusses for wearing masks.
California is a requirement in most places.
Yeah. Well, they had little signs posted up too in the bookstore that said like one person per cubby or something like that because they have little.
Oh yeah.
Kind of goes in.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny, and like the pic. I'll bring that up again for those of you if you're okay with that, the picture.
No, I don't care.
Yeah. Here's
We'll make great podcast material. I can tell you that.
The picture looks. Describe the picture.
There's me and Matthew practicing social distancing at the bookstore after it opened up. So,
and it's one of those workout shirts, so it's not flattering. It really hugs the skin. So,
yeah, pectorals.
Yeah, Superman's my workout shirt too. It's like just like I gotta strive for goal, like my workout goals. Superman,
We got Rob D says, so funny thing today. My sister told me she started reading a comic today with painting art style where Superman is old and tending to a farm. And I'm like, you're reading Kingdom Come.
Yep.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Like DC story ever.
The what?
Like the greatest DC comic story ever.
I like it too.
That's awesome.
Oh, they have a novelization of that.
Oh, I have no doubt that they have a novelization of Kingdom Come. If they have a novelization of the death of Superman, then they definitely have one of and Adam goes to grab it. Yes.
Nice. Michael doesn't know Is High Republic Rise of Skywalker?
Well, I mean, everyone hopes not, because that was
200 years before the Anakin was even born.
why. I just don't get High Republic. Actually, you know what? I do get it. They're trying to get a new Old Republic, but the Old Republic fan base is so dedicated that if they just rebooted the Old Republic, there would be so much butthurt in the community that they would not.
Oh yeah, riot. We got riots in the streets now, but I mean, it's like riots in social media when you have that kind of stuff going on in the Star Wars.
You get rid of the Old Republic, and then you have an even more alienated Star Wars fans.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got Scott Johnson says, when you pick up a book in a store, you have to buy it now. Corona germs.
I basically did.
Yeah, go ahead and show what you got there.
This is a sequel, I think, to the Peter Jackson film. This takes place in the 90s, and it features Jack Denham, Carl Denham's grandson. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, cool. I want to read more King Kong stories, maybe. Yeah. Whenever Godzilla vs. Kong comes out, I'll have a review for it or something.
The thing that I picked up was X-Files Ruins. So
yeah.
They had two copies. Say it again?
That cover is so dated.
It is so tacky. Now, they had two copies. One of them, I'm sure, was like a first print because it did not include the new bonus material. So, and this came out, I guess, just before the movie. It says, "Don't miss the X-Files movie coming soon to theaters." It's written by Kevin J. Anderson, who's written Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, Kevin J. Anderson's written a ton of things.
So it says Ruins created by Chris Carter. So I guess what's created by Chris Carter? X-Files, I'm guessing. No, I still need to watch the whole series. I think I've mentioned it on here before. I've watched season 1, couple episodes of season 2. Yeah. I love how tacky it was. You know, they're running around the halls with their finger on the trigger. You know, like you don't do that. You're FBI agents. You don't even know how to hold a gun.
Yeah, the series gets better as it goes along, and then it peters out bad. And the second movie's hot garbage.
Yeah, I never saw the movies, but when I saw these, I was like, that looks kind of fun. I might try that. Don't know when I'll be able to read it, but one of these days. Michael says, what I would love to see Star Wars do is a Luke Skywalker story between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Yeah, they're going to have to recast Luke Skywalker for that, though.
Or they do an animated movie.
I was about to say, yeah.
With hand-drawn animation. I'm so sick of the awful CG.
Yeah.
They're so attached to with Star Wars now.
Yeah. Things aren't really, yeah.
I mean, can we talk some Clone Wars on here?
Yeah, if you want to.
Can we give a season 7 review real fast of some of the worst television I've ever seen in my life? About 2 good episodes were in that 12 episode season 2. Rounding out good Clone Wars episodes to probably about 7 for 7 seasons.
Yeah, well, the final season that really shows Filoni's obsession with Ahsoka. The whole series, except for 3 episodes, was all about her.
4. I think the first 4 is the Bad Batch, which that's drawn out to really extreme. Oh, you're gonna get Clone Wars talk, Matt. This is my show.
Conversation needs new Highlander. Which, by the way, when we went to the bookstore to pick up our little items, we looked for Highlander, did not see it.
Yeah, we didn't. That was weird.
Yeah.
We even looked for the DVDs of it, didn't we?
Yeah, nothing. Everybody bought it up. Sorry.
Yeah, so let's get into some Clone Wars. So it's 12 episodes and 3 arcs, which is appalling. Every arc is drawn out to an insane, terrible crescendo. I mean, the second arc is absolutely worthless and shouldn't have even been in the show. With the Pike arc.
Yeah.
with Ahsoka and her stupid friends
Mm-hmm.
who serve absolutely no purpose other than we wanted to have characters with their sides of their heads shaved.
Yeah. You just need to grow half of your hair back and you look like that one lady.
I mean, I cut my hair like that normally. I was like, really?
Oh, like a anomalous tick. Legends versus canon.
We don't have to claim that season 7 of Clone Wars is Legends material, though. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, I still want to know because they have the unfinished episodes, right? What were those called?
I mean, they had the Lost Missions what season 6's box set was called, where that was a half season. I only think there were 12 episodes of that, 12, 13 episodes. And then they had like half finished ones where they had voice acting for like 3 seasons or some nonsense apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you do that many it's Scott Johnson too.
Yeah, I just saw that.
In the season 7 is very generous. I'll get into why I say they're good, and we're talking Filoni good, not like normal good. So they were watchable.
I liked the Order 66 episodes, but I
didn't. They were really drawn out. Well, I forgot that. Because in the EU, before Filoni decided to mess around with things, no, I didn't see that, but that's funny. That's like my Droids and Ewoks Blu-rays that I bought. But yeah,
I just felt like, I mean, I don't know. It's just I wish it was longer because otherwise, like,
no,
hear me out on this. I'm just like, I just feel like with it being crunched up, it just those first few episodes just kind of seem out of place for me, and it's just, I mean, if it was longer and like Order 66 was like drawn out and more catastrophic, I felt like it would have been more like it
shouldn't have been focused on Ahsoka, who's not a Jedi anymore.
Honestly, my thing was, it's weird. I liked Sam Witwer's performance of Maul better.
I mean, it was not Rebels levels of stupid, but that's
well, the thing that I noticed with Maul in both Clone Wars and in the Rebels was his obsession with the words, the key. He's saying, "Oh, he's the key. It's the key." I'm like, okay, the key. Come on. You should have just called him the key master. That would have been better. It's like, oh, he's the key master.
And Ahsoka was the gatekeeper, apparently. And the plot of, I'm going to team up with Ahsoka to kill Anakin to screw Sidious over. What?
Yeah, that was.
Why did Maul have a vision of that?
I didn't like its very end either. That whole thing with Vader was just, I was just like,
oh, that was a direct contradiction to E.K. Johnston's Ahsoka novel.
Yeah. I remember because right after I finished watching this series, I was like, wait a second. In the book, I sent you guys a message. I was like, wait, isn't in the book like they're buried in an unmarked grave site that's like to throw off people?
Yeah.
Just in case someone is like, oh, yeah, there's her grave. I'm sure they're in there.
It's just weird. Like, thinking about it now, I'm just like, it wasn't that great to me. I mean, I was mostly wanting to watch it toward, like, I was only more interested in the last half, I guess I should say. Like, the first 6 episodes, I'm just like, yeah, okay, but it's just like, it just didn't really serve that much of a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, I totally agree that in Rebels, that duel at the season 2 finale between Vader and Ahsoka was pretty awesome.
I did like that, yeah.
She should have died. That was, instead of having her stupid time portal.
Oh my gosh.
That was weird.
It made no sense and never went anywhere.
That's like basically Avengers Endgame type stuff.
Yeah, but Avengers Endgame seemed to actually like try to make a good story. Where oh gosh, the Rebels got way out of hand.
Yeah, well, Holocron Keeper Evan says, I would have liked it better if in the end of the episode, Ahsoka reached out in the Force to see if Anakin was there, and it would cut to Vader and Emperor Palpatine Suricon?
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I guess here's my overall review. Watch Tartakovsky's Clone Wars.
It makes it so much better.
I mean, only one contradiction.
Because, yeah, I mean, here's one: Grievous is actually more intimidating and less comic relief. 2, it's darker, and 3, it doesn't contradict Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, it contradicts Labyrinth of Evil. If we want to get technical.
Okay, well, I haven't read that yet, so I mean,
you should read Labyrinth of Evil. It's also awesome, and it can be explained away. It was just Lucino and Tartakovsky didn't communicate well with the Siege of Coruscant, and so things happened a little differently.
Yeah, well, go ahead. I'm sorry, Matthew.
I was just say, I like Holocron Keeper's Evan. What he says is Ahsoka's perfect end is to die to Vader. Ahsoka is unfortunately Dave's writer's pet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka has the best plot armor of any Star Wars character I've ever seen.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
sadly, Scott Johnson says season 6 was more climactic ending than season 7. See, I kind of had this feeling that maybe that they wanted to continue more stories in the Clone Wars after this, but maybe I don't know how they would because the Clone Wars ended. So
well, they would just do what they did in season 3 and just release a bunch of episodes out of order.
Yeah,
which was horrible and everyone hated.
Yeah,
I honestly like the ending. Was it season 5 with Ahsoka leaving the Jedi?
Yeah,
I mean, those are like, I think out of all the whole show, those are like my favorite episodes, just because I like the tension. But I'm just.
When Gareth Ophi went from being Anakin's age to Ahsoka's age, she Benjamin buttoned. I'm sorry, they're the same age in Approaching Storm.
Oh, okay. I got to read these books so that way I can wait, they were like, oh, okay, it's a book, all right.
Yeah, and there's something else too that you'd mentioned before with the color of the sabers changing.
Oh yeah, they were green in the Ahsoka book, or they were referenced as green, but then they were changed as blue in the.
Yeah,
and then white.
I don't know why he decided they had to be blue. Other than they just wanted a different color.
Yak Face Kit Fisto was jacked up in the original Clone Wars, and Mace Windu is overpowered. I still like it.
Yeah. But you also have to understand that Mace Windu is a council member.
Yeah, I was gonna. Speaking of which, Matthew, you were actually talking about how it was basically Ahsoka's fault about Order 66.
Oh yeah. God, yeah, that's stupid.
Like, and some people were saying, I've heard some people say that it was Mace Windu. I'm like,
no, he's like, do you have something you need to tell us? And she's like, no. And then everybody died. Thanks, Ahsoka.
I mean,
it's gonna be like an Admiral Holdo situation where Disney's just gonna claim that Ahsoka was in the right no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like they claimed that Admiral Holdo was in the right no matter what, even though she's just being an asshole.
Yeah,
for the sake of being an asshole. I mean, we talked about that on PEDDLER'S previously. I couldn't remember her name. Like she's just the awful, like, shouldn't have been in command of anything.
No, not at all.
Thank you, Ryan Johnson, for not understanding how a military works, let alone a rebellion military.
Hey, apparently the who is it? Michael Dougherty and Zach Shields don't know how the military works either, because you had a civilian running the show.
Yeah, that's Roland Emmerich nonsense right there.
Yeah, that too. So if that, I brought that up. Some of you guys, I don't think were in the previous live stream we did. And same for the guys on the podcast. Check out Paper Movies. It's going to be released as a podcast.
Yes.
So that's going to be awesome. We got Rob D says, I stopped watching the Clone Wars during season 3. Too many no battles, no action, and political episodes.
Yeah, that was
Like I always thought, I remember having a conversation with some folks about why I thought Clone Wars was silly. Is like you have people that are senators running around with their blasters, shooting people, and it's like, can you imagine like people in the White House right now doing that? Like they're out running in the front lines of battle. Like, I remember having that thought, like, can you see your Nancy Pelosi out there shooting a rifle? No, you don't.
No, Nancy Pelosi would be hiding behind her fence that everyone else in San Francisco is against the law for them to have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's just silly nonsense. Michael Bray says, Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66. Yeah, that's a good.
Why did Rex resist?
Why?
That's a whole other thing that didn't make any sense.
Because plot twist.
Wasn't that a contradiction too? I heard somewhere that they said that it didn't have any effect on him or something like that.
That's the whole thing about.
I assumed that he had removed his chip by that point.
I don't know. I think the chip idea is so stupid.
Oh yeah, no, it does. That's a Dave Filoni thing in and of itself. That's if you read Karen Travis's Order 66, that's not what it is. It's just something that's bred into them.
Yeah, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's what it seems like. It would be something that they're learned to follow orders. They are loyal to whatever their leader says to do, and execute Order 66 is something ingrained in them from childhood. Like, okay, we have to follow the order, or it's treason.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see where there'd be conflict with some of the people. Some of them.
Well, yeah, they talk about it in Karen Travis's book with her commandos.
Yeah, it would have made much more sense.
Yeah, and I feel like it would add more, like conflict for the fact that if they tried to resist it, it would be that they just personally didn't want to kill their Jedi friends, but they still had to. And I was just like, I mean, that to me is more darker than just like, oh, I'm trying to fight this robotic chip in my brain. And I'm just like, that's just me, but.
Yeah, well, Holocron Creeper says Barriss has from memory been younger than Anakin by a few years, but Anakin is only 6 years older than Ahsoka. Only 6 years older?
Yeah, that's another thing that doesn't make... With the whole Clone Wars timeline, too, it's all messed up.
Yeah, I think we mentioned last week on my stream that we both agree that Ahsoka should not have been his apprentice. More like it would have worked better as a friend, maybe.
Yeah,
I always assume, the way I look at it, because Clone Wars is Comp Noir propaganda or a holodrama, it's not necessarily Star Wars fact, if we want to get into legends stuff. I assumed that Ahsoka had lost her master because there's a whole story arc in the Battle of Jabim story arc where there's a bunch of Padawans running around with no masters and things go real south. Anakin was part of that because at the time Obi-Wan had been captured by the Separatists, by Ventress specifically, and was being tortured. It was a prisoner of war, and Anakin didn't know, and so he just assumed his master was dead, so he was just masterless for a while, and it would make sense that if Ahsoka probably had a different master, and because he takes things personally, he didn't want that to happen to her, so he took her under his wing for a time. It doesn't work out because Anakin's a selfish goon, and they get Ahsoka another master. Then Anakin uses that as his leverage to try to get on the Jedi Council, because one of the things about being a master on the Jedi Council is you have to have had a Padawan. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of silly stuff. It takes away too from the relationship between Anakin and Kenobi. Like, it's supposed to be this brotherly bond that they have that we're supposed to be emotional about, but we're not, because it's not about them. It's about Ahsoka and her little drama stuff with Anakin. It's stupid. I don't like it.
That's why I like
the dumbest things.
Yeah, that's why I like the Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, because it shows more of that, friendship between Kenobi and Anakin. Because, like, in the first movie, Obi-Wan wants nothing to do with Anakin, and in the second one, he spends most of the movie yelling at him. And it's just like at the third one, I was just like, wait, you spent the first two movies not acting like really that fond of him, but that's why I kind of saw more of that friendship in the Tartakovsky's Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back to some of these comments over here that I saw. Like yak face. The Holdo maneuver sounds like a pro wrestling term. It's like, oh my god, the Hollow.
Remember in Rise of Skywalker when they tried to claim, oh, that was 1 in a million, when they could have just kamikazed into all of the ships and they would have been okay?
Yeah, how funny would it have been if they did just completely went parody with the whole thing, and just it's like, oh, that was Ryan Johnson's fault. That doesn't happen. Scott Johnson, I like season 6 mostly because Ahsoka wasn't in it.
Yep. Although we had the D Squadron arc, which was awful.
I get mixed emotions because, when I was watching the last season, I was like, it's not that bad because I separated Ahsoka from the whole Anakin line. Okay, I didn't love it. Of course, I don't like it. Love it. It was okay in my opinion. It's just okay. My canon that I have in my head does not include the Clone Wars series. It just doesn't. It doesn't. I know that's blasphemy to some people.
I'm sorry. The next comment's killing me.
Oh, we'll do that one, then we'll go back to that other question. Rob D says Nancy Pelosi couldn't handle a water gun, let alone M4. Anomalous Tick says, "What's your favorite Star Wars book?"
Go ahead,
Jeremy. Would you like to take that one first?
Darth Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis is your favorite book. What about canon? What's your favorite canon book?
Master and Apprentice.
Okay.
Plagueis is my favorite too.
Plagueis is your favorite. Okay.
I don't think I have a favorite canon one yet. If shoot. Let me get back to you on that.
Okay. Mine, my favorite Legends book. It goes probably Path of Destruction. I really like that one.
Great book too.
And I also really like Death Troopers because that one brought me in to the expanded universe. So I've got that special love for that one.
Dude, man, around Halloween, listen to the audiobook to that.
Oh, yeah. I have listened to the audiobook too.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I read that one and listened to the audiobook.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I listened to that audiobook while taking Christmas lights down.
Nice.
The yard.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite canon is still Lost Stars. That's still my favorite one in canon.
Yeah, that's a solid one.
I mean, the YA stuff has been mostly pretty solid. Rebel Rising.
Written by E.K. Johnston.
Rebel Rising is good. The Poe Dameron novel was all right.
Legend of Luke Skywalker was okay.
For canon, I'm gonna have to say my top 2 that are my favorites are either Dooku, Jedi Lost, or the Han Solo book.
Last Shot or Most Wanted?
Last Shot.
Okay. Most Wanted was kind of dumb and boring.
Yeah. I didn't like Last Shot.
You didn't like it?
So you weren't a fan that Ray Carson was chosen to write Rise of Skywalker?
That I didn't mind. Usually it's I could read an author's book, 2 of their books before I can well, that's not true either because we had Aftermath and I was like, oh, this is horrible. And then Life Debt came out and I was like, there's improvement. But Chuck Wendig still has a long way to go. We got Empire's End, and then he just sunk straight down to the core of Jakku, burned up at the mountain. What is that planet? The lava planet. Crap.
Mustafar?
Mustafar. That's what, throw him in the pits of Mustafar. His writing.
I tried reading Life Debt, but I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, Life Debt's boring. Empire's End is more boring because it's mostly. Well, that's weird because most of Aftermath is on Akiva, as I recall. God, I haven't had to think of the actual plot of where it took place. Yeah, it takes place on Akiva because swamp planet, and that was more entertaining. Well, no, I won't say entertaining. It was more engaging because I didn't understand how something could be so bafflingly strange.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did the new one when we got to Empires, and we've already seen Jakku. We already knew what happened because Lost Stars had explained that there was a big
battle there.
Can I change my answer?
No. Yeah.
I'm going to say this is my favorite canon book.
Oh, really?
What?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, bye, guys.
He knew. I was so disappointed with that book. By the way, for the podcast, we should probably say, from a certain point of view, was Adam's pick.
It was either that or Dooku. So,
okay.
I don't know. I got a kick out of it, and yeah.
Well, you do know that there's a character that carried over from Legends into one of the stories.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. Oh, geez. What was it?
It starts with an A.
It's a Yark.
Yark. Yeah.
From Kenobi.
That's right. I was gonna
because the Jackson Miller character. Also, Mosa Benid shows up in Canto Bight, even though technically Mosa Benid is an Archie Goodwin character, who was basically Jabba's accountant / the face of Jabba.
There's got a bunch of stuff in the comments I need to catch up on. We got Evan saying, I was very against the inhibitor chip until I saw the final episode of the Clone Wars. You could take it or leave it. And Matt says he fell asleep. Sorry. Are we still talking about the Clone Wars? Rob D, the inhibitor chip works in the context of the Clone Wars. It would make no sense to just have the clones turn against the Jedi due to how much they made the clones actual characters that bond with the Jedi.
But they did that already because, for instance, Commander Bly is Ayla Sakura's commander for her legion of troops, and there is kind of, as I recall, there's kind of an implied love interest thing, one way he loves her and is dedicated to her sort of thing. But I can't remember that too clearly. That's been a long time. That was from Dark Horse Comics because Ayla Secura was a Dark Horse character first before she was a movie character.
Yeah. We've got Michael saying the Clone Wars was Jar Jar's fault because he granted emergency power to Palpatine. Well, I guess that would be the second guy's fault after Ahsoka. Matt Wilkins, watching Filoni's Clone Wars is like taking a dump, wiping, walking away, then returning back to the bathroom hours later because you discovered you didn't get it out after the last wipe. Well, okay.
Man, that's pretty accurate.
Matt has a trick question. There is no such thing as someone's favorite canon novel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some really good ones. I mean, it is really hard. Some of them are hard to pick from because Catalyst was a great one.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion about that on one of the streams. Can't remember where that stream was.
That a while ago.
Yeah, we talked about one of the characters that I really wanted to see again.
I'm enjoying the Legends novels more. I don't know what it is. I mean, there's some of the Disney books that I like, or the canon books that I like. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about the Legends books.
It's called They Cared.
I mean, I'll read anything Star Wars, but I don't know. I've been digging the whole overall vibe from the Legends books, but
yeah, there's a different feel to them. Yak Faces, Chris Pratt says in Parks and Rec, it's like wiping a marker tip. Matthew's favorite Legends book is the Crystal Star. That's not the Crystal Star. So don't believe what you're hearing, folks.
That
It
book
is.
will.
Whoa, what is? Why do I have a copy in my hand?
I was like to say, like that book will push you down the stairs.
It will. Yeah.
I was waiting for the Aftermath book to sweep out your legs.
Oh gosh, that's a brilliant idea. But hey, yeah, I am now like verified on Giphy. So when you're on your Facebook Messenger, it usually works, and Twitter, type in Star Wars books, like Star Wars books, all spaced, and you'll see some of the stuff that I've done. And also the TheGeeksAttic shows up some of them too, but I put a couple of them up there. I'm going to hopefully get a lot more Star Wars related things on there that involve the expanded universe. It's basically everything up there right now is Star Wars related, so that's why I said Star Wars books. He has 2 copies. Rumor has it he's buying a 3rd soon of the Crystal Star.
I remember at the bookstore we were looking at the Star Wars books, and I said, like, "Hey, there's your favorite," and it was a massive hardcover of Rogue Planet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And Scott Johnson is actually right. This is a trick. Switchfire. So
I can't wait for you to buy an actual copy of Witchfire and it turns out to be Crystal Star.
Oh, that's funny. Anakin was too inept to have a student. Yep. A New Dawn and Catalyst were halfway decent canon books.
Oh, I have a New Dawn review coming out in 2 weeks.
Well, Scott, I don't really remember A New Dawn that much. That was the first
That's
canon
the
novel.
Era book.
Right, the Rebels tie-in.
Vidian, who looks like Bane and a robot had a baby.
Yeah.
But like it's
he was definitely that like villain of the week.
Yeah, it's like Faison Gore in Last Shot. Faison Gore has a cool name, but isn't that cool of a villain?
Right, he was the same way in my opinion. I think I said that in my review.
You remember, it's just New Rebellion 2.
Yeah. Yes, boot.
Oh.
That must have been about.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, oh wait, I've read Lords of the Sith. I'm like, I actually enjoyed that one more, and I forgot, but like, I won't change my answer again. So,
Michael says, although in my view, the Jedi Council added in more ways than one to Anakin turning to the dark side. Jacob Ayers is in. Hey, Jacob.
Oh,
Welcome. Anomalous Tick, worst Star Wars book besides Crystal Star.
Oh, worst Star Wars book. Oh,
Yeah.
Health and Siege. Also, Clone Wars Wild Space is bad.
Out of all that I've read, I can't think of any that I can think of. Oh,
Planet of Twilight.
I wasn't looking.
All of these I just said I think are worse than Crystal Star. Something that it's not worse than Crystal Star, but Allegiance and Choices of One and Scoundrels, Timothy Zahn's last 3 EU books are really bad. I'm looking on my shelf. Republic Commando 000's not very good. Red Harvest is pretty bad. I put that on par with Crystal Star. Although I enjoy Crystal Star more.
I should elaborate. I was just like, I was saying I couldn't think of any, and I was showing to the screen Dawn of the Jedi because this is the worst one I've read.
Oh, you mean it's one of the best books ever?
No.
It's a lot better than Planet of Twilight, I can tell you that.
I'm about to say, if I got booted from a certain point of view, come on.
Booting me on my podcast? Come on.
I think my least favorite would be after Crystal Star is Rogue Planet. When it comes to canon, oh man, maybe Queen's Peril. That's pretty bad. It's designed for the Star Wars hardcore fan that likes that sort of thing that's inside the book, because you have to know the Phantom Menace like the back of your hand to know what's going on in the film. If you're like, oh, I saw the film once, you're lost. You're lost.
That's because E.K. Johnston can't write a book. She's just terrible. Just terrible. She's worse than Chuck Wendig, I think, at this point. I haven't read Queen's Peril. I read Queen's Shadow, and that was enough for me. Honestly, the only reason I got through that was I was walking to work during that time. It was last summer, I think that's when they came out. And I was walking to work, and so that took me about a week to get through. That's the only reason I got through Alphabet Squadron as well. Like walking to work, listening to it on my phone.
I told my wife, who read that book and enjoyed it, I'm just like, honey, I just want you to know, you got me booted from a live stream, and it wasn't even my fault. And she was just like, yeah, she was like, why? What did I do? Like, I told him that you liked Queen's Shadow, and she was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you need to be booted again. Yeah, there you go.
Rob asked if there was Crystal Star or Witchfire. It was Witchfire. Michael Bray, my favorite book in Legends is Rise of Darth Vader and canon Return of the Jedi. So you just like the canon novel, well, the novelization of Return of the Jedi.
I actually bought the Rise of Darth Vader, or Dark Lord of the Sith. Never mind. I read
Darth Vader. I own that one too. That was actually a book where James Luceno didn't intend for Darth Vader to be in it at all, and it just kind of got ahead of him, and then you just put Darth Vader in, as I recall.
Matt Wilkins, I hear they're sticking copies of Crystal Star in hotel drawers like the Gideon Bible.
They're actually hollowing out the Bible and they're putting the.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
When you open it, you actually find out it's Witchfire.
Yeah. Like, oh, look at this nice leather-bound Bible. Wait, this is the Crystal Star. Can you imagine that getting your copy? Like, yeah, genuine goat skin leather Crystal Star. Go ahead.
What am I feeling that that's going to be like an ongoing like series on your YouTube channel? Like it's going to show you being stalked by a car, and you're going to be chasing off, and inside the front seat is going to be the Crystal Star book driving the car after you.
Yeah, it's my enemy. I've made a fun thing about it though. Water is just a stupid idea.
You should like do. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. We'll get back to the comment in a second.
Well, I was going to say like you should have like those scenes in scary movies where they open the mirror in the bathroom to like put something up, and when they close it, like the killer's right behind them. They like put like the Crystal Star in the back.
That's like I think on my Aftermath Empire's End review, I've got Aftermath opening the door, and then I hear a noise kicks on my computer, and it's the suicide hotline prevention, and and Life Debt sitting there on the desk, and then over at the window is Empire's End like staring at me through the window, and then it cuts back to me, and what is it? Where's the book go? I put it up. The Crystal Star is like right by my face. That's actually a gift that I made too. It just like turns into my face, and I'm like, yeah. That was a fun intro. Rob D says, Jeremy, you might already know, but they did actually do that. There are copies of Witchfire that have Crystal Star inside.
I had assumed that, but thank you for confirming that, Rob D.
Michael Bray, my favorite book in Legends, The Rise of Darth. Oh, wait, I already did that one.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Yakface, Labyrinth of Evil is probably my favorite Legends book. I like Cloak of Deception more than most.
Labyrinth of Evil was with Grievous and Anakin, right?
Yeah, on the cover, yeah. Although they don't actually meet in the book. It's the final Clone Wars story.
Okay.
Although I will say this, the end of Gingy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, where Anakin does that trial thing, that happens somewhere near the end of Labyrinth of Evil.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of wishy-washy when that happens.
We've got. He also says I like the Cloak of Deception more than most. I enjoyed Cloak of Deception. I thought it was a good book.
No, that's Qui-Gon, correct?
Yeah, it's got Qui-Gon and
Valorum.
Yeah, and I thought it was like there's a attack on Valorum. There's a plot against him.
Yeah, it's talked about in Plagueis.
It was a really good book. More political, but it was fun. That's when my review, and I was like, oh, there's a cameo from a certain character that doesn't show up until way later on in canon. Joris Sabath. And it's like 2 books later, it's like, here's a book about Joris. And I'm like, oh, wish I would have known that. That's why I shouldn't talk about future books and books that I haven't,
Yeah, I mean, he's Outbound Flights. He's like a primary character.
Oh, gosh, yes. I'm going to get that review done soon. And I'm going to get it posted. Been falling behind, but I've said that way too much.
That might be my favorite Zahn book.
It's okay, Matthew. I'm falling behind on a few other projects too.
I mean, I'm almost caught up on reviews.
That's good.
We flipped the script.
We have a special guest joining us. We probably shouldn't have talked bad about him earlier. Mr. Windiggy.
Oh my gosh, not this again.
Oh, gosh.
Backpeddler's debut.
Yes, making his Backpeddler's debut. Mr. Windig.
Those are bigots. If you don't like my book, you're bigots.
We are bigots.
You can just wibble and wobble out of here. Bunch of man babies wearing their space diapers.
Yeah.
My book will kick your tuchus all around the house.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mr. Windig, is Cobb Vanth Boba Fett?
Bigot. Why can't it be Boba Fett?
Okay.
Why can't he be Boba S. Fett S?
Okay. Oh, that's great.
He's melting.
Oh, good. He's melting away. And with us we have Matt.
Matt makes his debut on the Backpeddlers podcast.
He is kicked out Mr. Windig or Windiggy.
I was gonna say he kind of pulled that Super Friends Superman type thing, like where he turns back into Clark and like, "Hey, Clark Kent, you missed it. Superman was just here."
We didn't know that.
He was here. That's incredible.
Windig was just in your house. He didn't sign a single copy of Aftermath.
That is nuts.
Gosh.
So I told my wife that I'm waiting for Cobra Kai season 3, but it's been delayed because YouTube is selling the series.
To who?
The rumor has it Sony, but they're trying to get it on Netflix or Hulu, like all 3 seasons. Anyway, so I tell her this, and then she comes back in a few minutes later and goes, "Hey, there's a Christmas present I forgot to give you." Sitting around my house, and I haven't got to. No mercy? Come on. Well, you'll wear it this weekend for your birthday, right? I said, yeah. Heck yeah, I will. Kidding me? Well, when I would have worn this today when I took the girls out. No dog would have messed with me. Cobra Kai.
I mean, I love that Hilary Swank movie.
You what?
Oh, yeah, The Next Karate Kid. Ever heard of that? Starring Jaden Smith and Hilary Swank.
Oh, hey guys, how cool of a copy would this be? The Waru scale-bound copy of the Crystal Star.
I'll buy that.
I kind of feel like you wouldn't want that hitting you in the head on the way down the stairs.
All I can say is, why does it smell like Spam?
Yeah, a little Spam juice getting the carpet up here.
Well, I was going to say because it might have toothpicks in it.
Yeah. You know, put that thing in the freezer. My wife opened the freezer and she's like, "What are you doing?" So I was going to do another video with it, but I guess if you want to throw it away. So it got thrown in the trash.
You threw Waru in the trash?
Yeah. You know, it's like I could have kept him, brought him up here, and put him in the attic with my other toys.
No.
But I think the decomposition was just.
No, he's folding inside. He's folding dimensions.
That's right. Going into that other.
He doesn't rot.
That's right.
Oil. Actually, I hear if you leave Waru out in the sun too long, he does get a little stinky. So
Yeah.
That's just
Makes
the
sense.
dimension splitting.
Say what?
It's a smell.
Well, it's funny because after Luke dives in him, he comes back out. There's a deleted scene where he goes, "Huh," and I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Oh, that's great. The deleted page. Man. Michael says, who has the best lightsaber in Star Wars universe? Canon, video games, and Legends. And he picks Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order.
You see, in Legends, the only lightsaber that I've seen thoroughly is Revan's. So I'll say that.
I am a fan. I like Mara Jade's lightsaber, and I like Kip Durham's. I like the simplicity of Kip's. Also, Korn's, I think, is pretty cool. I like all the lightsabers prior to the prequel stuff. I remember Nomi Sunrider's is a pretty gorgeous looking hilt. Because I think, like, there used to be, like, sites that made, like, the EU lightsabers from, like, books. Now they more focus on the video games.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, with Cal Kestis, you can basically design your own, but I'm guessing you like the original the game starts off with. I still just like old Luke Skywalker's from Return of the Jedi. That's one of my favorites. I don't know what any of the ones from the Legend stuff looks like. I never really paid attention to look those up. I know there's like charts that people have made of all the different sabers.
That's a good point. I like Dooku. Yak face. I like Dooku's lightsaber too.
Windu, his is pretty cool. All the
Which
gold.
one?
Huh?
Which one? Because he has two of them.
He does?
Yeah, he has a different lightsaber in Phantom Menace. It's blue. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't draw it in the movie, but yeah, it was a different lightsaber.
No, I like the one that we see, like a little bit of purple on the.
Oh yeah, the one.
Not purple, gold.
Yeah,
Gold.
with gold. Yeah.
Yeah, Yoda had a yellow one, didn't he?
Yes, and Yaddle had a red one. Keanu Moody had a purple one. Plo Koon had a yellow one. Yeah, it was different. Matt, what would be your pick his best lightsaber?
I'm thinking about that. I don't really know if I have a favorite lightsaber. That's a good question though, but I don't think I have a favorite one. I always thought, oh man, that's awesome, because most of the hilts are the same. I mean, yeah, Dooku has some curve hilts. You know, everyone has a little spin on a lightsaber, but lightsaber is a lightsaber. You know, I never really thought the handle, because we're judging by the handle.
Yeah.
And is there a special handle that just really excites me? Not really. I like different colors as well. I always said mine would be orange, because I don't think we have any orange sabers mentioned in the books. I'm sure the comic books drew a few, but
Yeah, and the council members had a couple of them had one.
yeah, but it's never mentioned. I think Lobaka had a bronze one once.
They
was-
made
I forgot about Lobaka. Yeah.
they made a Jedi power battles like Phantom Menace game, and Plo Koon had an orange lightsaber. That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
I've always thought. I remember when I was like younger, when the Phantom Menace was coming out, or no, when the Phantom Menace, whenever Plo Koon shows up, he wasn't in.
Yeah, he's in the Phantom Menace. He's
Okay. I remember seeing him and thinking like that dude's gonna have an orange saber, probably because he had more like an orangish skin. Shows how stupid.
probably also saw the Kenner toy. Yeah.
That might have been it then. I don't know. I just had it in my head that he was gonna have an orange saber.
Orange would be a pretty cool one, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember drawing pictures of Star Wars characters that I just make up little aliens.
But why I like Revan's is like I like those little curves on the side of it. It looks like it's very difficult to hold.
Yeah, and that's why I don't care for it, because I think of like the practicality of it. And I think that'd be really uncomfortable.
I'm gonna bring it up.
I knew that the High Republic stuff coming out, the art that they've shown has like hilts with cross sabers on them.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Some of them look kind of neat, but
I just want to mention to your viewers, notice how I stopped the Clone Wars conversation when I came on. You're welcome. You're welcome. So glad I could help you out there.
Ugh.
When is phase 3 in Oklahoma?
I don't know. We'll see.
We're on phase 1 in California.
June, I think. I can't quite remember.
Monday we get to hear if we get to flip to phase 2. It's looking good, but you never know.
Huh.
I know Oklahoma is like way far advanced
Yeah.
than the rest of the country. Their economy.
Yeah, everything's going good with that.
I'm going back to work, so I'm happy. So
I got my request got declined. I'm going to put it in again when we go to phase 2, but my boss said it's still going to be declined. I said I'm still going to request. You're not detering me, pal.
Yeah, I'm enjoying working from home. I do not want to go back to the office. I had a little meeting with some of my bosses today, and I asked like if you guys volunteer to go back. We have the option to volunteer to go back early. It's like a 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and like off of, meaning out of the office, like 2 weeks at home, 2 weeks at the office. But when you're at the office, you have to wear a mask for 9 hours and stay 6 feet away from everybody. I'm thinking, like, what's the point in going for 2 weeks and then going home for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
That doesn't make sense. I know at our office it's 6 feet and mask right now if you're there. And I was like, okay, I have an office all to myself. I'm not wearing the mask. I even told my neighbor, who's also my teammate, I said, if we both go back, I said, I'll wear a mask when I'm around people, but I'll be honest, I'm taking it off in the office. Oh yeah, me too. I was like, okay, good.
Yeah. See, I'm like, I got an office too, and like I step out of my office, there's a bunch of people in cubicles that are like half, so they like you can see them. So I'll be that guy that just steps through the door, looks at everybody, and puts my mask back on. Read it in a little bit.
I have to wear one when I go back this weekend, but what will help is that I work outside, and so that means like distancing, I guess.
It's gonna be hot. It's like a sweater on your face.
Yeah, with a beard. Yeah.
Yeah. How hot is it going to be over in Oklahoma
this weekend?
Yeah,
high 70s, I think.
It's been over 100 for the last week here.
Ugh. Well, I see 80 in the 80s.
So, just to kind of set this conversation off a little bit, I read all the Highlander books.
Yeah.
And there's one that's getting translated from German into English right now.
Wow.
Called Return of the Immortal. It was actually a book that was made in Germany. So I'm excited. Every week he posts another chapter. So I'm getting it piece by piece. I'm not going to read it till it's all done, but super excited about that. Read the newest Firefly book. James Lovegrave is fantastic. Fantastic author. It feels like all 3 of his books have been episodes. And guess who's writing the 4th book? Tim Levin from Dawn of the Jedi.
I might actually read it.
I'm gonna get it. It's coming out in October. The other 3 Firefly books are fan-friggin-tastic.
I mean, do you have to be like a fan of the show to understand what's happening in the books?
Did you not watch the show?
I have the movie Serenity.
Okay. Well, the show's only 13 episodes. It got canceled the first season. I'd say watch the first season. You'll love it to death. And then watch the movie. You'll be like, oh, man, this is awesome. Okay. Read those 3 books by James Lovegrave. Skip all the comic books. Skip every single one of the
the comic books are written by Joss Whedon's brother, and they're terrible.
They're horrible. They're horrible. They don't even feel like the characters. But James Lovegrave knows how to write those characters, and all 3 novels have been just home runs for me. And I really hope, I'm worried about Tim Levin writing the next one, but I really hope it's good because the books have just been outstanding. And now I'm on Book of Lost Tales 1, about 124 pages in, 114 pages in, something like that.
What was the name of the book that you were talking about, Matt?
What, the Highlander book?
Firefly, I'm sorry.
Oh, Firefly book. The newest one that came out is Ghost Machine.
Oh, I was going to say, when me and Matthew were at the bookstore, we saw this one.
What's that one?
New sheriff in the verse, or yeah.
That may be the comic book. It was a trade paperback of the comic book.
Hold on, it might have been different. It looked familiar. I had a picture of it. I don't have it anymore.
Big Damn Heroes is the other one, and I can't. Hold on, I'll look up the other one right now. I don't have the books in here.
While you look that up, I'll go through some of these comments to catch up real quick. Rob D likes the Force Unleashed lightsaber with Sith spikes that are on the hilt around the blade emitter.
I had that toy. Like I had that lightsaber when it came out. It's one of the last lightsabers I bought.
That's cool.
I'm sorry, Matthew. It was this one actually. It was Big Damn Hero.
Big Damn Hero is the first one. Then Magnificent Nine, and then Ghost Machine. Those have been the three from James Lovegrove, and they have been fantastic novels.
Michael, he liked Ray's yellow lightsaber. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Should have been earlier in the film. Should have been earlier so we could actually see it in use, but whatever.
The only yellow lightsaber we get in the films.
Is Michael Bray really his name, or is he just playing off of Michael Bay?
It's Bray.
Either way, I like it.
Yeah, he's actually my brother-in-law.
Shut up.
No? Okay.
So you have a brother-in-law.
Yeah. Scott can't wait to get back to the office. He's got 3 times the emails. Oh yeah, exactly. Mike, we just said he wishes he could have seen Ray use that blade. Scott says, I hear there's some Han Solo books getting translated from Hungarian.
Yeah, Scott, man, that rumor is always around, but yet whoever we get to translate them gives up. I don't know why, but we've tried this twice, and it hasn't worked.
Do you think they get like letters from the publishers or like legal?
No, I mean, just the Hungarian is all motivated at first, and then he just because someone told me that, Matt, I'm on those Hungarian translations. I went, okay. It may take a while. I was like, okay. Never heard from him again. That was 2 years ago or something.
Oh no, that was got to be like 4 years ago, Matt.
Probably so, but I mean, there's been tons of people who've said, "Yeah, I'll translate it," and they just get tired of doing it, and it's sad. Go ahead.
It's a gigantic. I can only imagine how much of a pain it is.
I'm sure it is,
because there's going to be words that don't translate at all.
Now, this guy who's translating the German edition, I'm sure he's kind of wordsmithing some of it, but he's from what I haven't looked at it too much, but I'm just thankful to see it. Like the Han Solo Hungarian books, I would just be thankful to be able to read those. I don't even know if I still have my file. I used to have the file of all of them written in Hungarian. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I have that anymore. I can't. It may have been one of my old laptops now, but yeah, I'd love to see those too. It's just sad. I mean, it's just hard to get someone like this guy who's dedicated to Highlander and he just recently is doing this. He started when I started reading the Highlander books. It was perfect timing. Mm-hmm. And he found out about this book about the same time I did probably, and said, hey, I know German, so I'm going to translate it. And he's been translating 1 chapter a week, and I mean, I'm super thankful for him.
That's cool.
What Joe did say, Scott, that someone was working on it, but last I talked to him, I haven't heard there was nothing he'd heard back from that guy. Now, that could have changed. But last time I talked to Joe, he didn't mention it. I didn't ask, which was just a few weeks ago. I got to talk to him on the phone, and oh gosh, he is. If you saw the podcast with him, that's just he's a fun guy. He's a smart guy. We laugh as much as we talk. I mean, he's just. I love Joe Bongiorno. I love everything he's done for the fans. Getting Kenneth C. Flint's Heart of the Jedi is one of the biggest achievements ever. Plus all the other unpublished stuff that he's gotten. He's great. I mean, he knows how to talk to these people. The only one that he gives me somewhat credit for, and I think that's because Rich told him, but the Rich Hanley, what's her name? Charlene Newcomb, unpublished West End Games short story. He said, I was the one that convinced Rich to do it because Rich wouldn't do it. And then he talked to me and then he called Joe and said, okay, I talked to Charlene. We're going to do it. he said, let's look it over first. But yeah, I gave him an example of, he's a big Star Trek fan, and the new Star Trek original series had come out with the deleted scenes. He said it was just weird to see footage he'd never seen of his favorite characters before, but it was cool. It wasn't the best, but it was cool. I went, well, that's exactly why we want to see your short story. You think it may not be good, it may not be much to you, but it means a lot to us. He went, I see your point now. And then Joe said he went from there and talked to Charlene, and Charlene said, sure, let's do it. And he said that was me who helped out on that one. So that's nice, because I didn't help out on anything else. And I was tasked to get Bill oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Escape from Daegu, Dietz. And yeah, he is a fantastic guy who did not, most people are like, oh yeah, I don't have that copy anymore. Sorry. He said, hey, I'll be honest with you, I have it, but I can't get rid of it because I got paid in full. And so Lucasfilm bought that from me. And I just don't think I get. And I said, look, man, look at your contract. A standard contract says that they do not publish it. And he's like, Matt, yeah, I don't have the contract anymore. He said, but I just want to, since I got paid in full for that book, I just want to avoid any legal ramifications. And I totally understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want someone like Lucasfilm coming after you, I'm sure. Or Disney, now that they own Lucasfilm.
Yeah, Disney's a nightmare. They'll sue an elementary school for painting Mickey Mouse on a wall.
Yeah, like a daycare.
Yeah.
There used to be one here in my city, I think, that had all that stuff on there. I think they had to remove it.
I think I heard that, yeah.
I think some bozo was like, look what this Disney, is this daycare canon? And Disney said, nope.
I'm sorry, what?
Actually, I just got a tweet from Matt Martin. There is such a thing as daycare canon now.
Do it. That's what you gotta do. No.
Chuck Wendig is writing the latest daycare canon novel.
Yeah.
It's only going to take him 4 seconds to write it.
It's called pooping in my pancakes.
Yeah, instead of his regular 2 weeks to write a novel, this one only took him just a couple hours.
Yeah, first person.
Painted out. Yeah, just like that.
Jar Jar goes to daycare. Me wets myself.
It's written in a new style called first person future tense.
Yes.
Don't ask me for an example. I don't think I can wrap my brain around that one.
The first children's novel is Don't Lick That, Jar Jar.
Yeah.
He sees a power socket,
Yeah.
A spiny animal, don't lick it, Jar Jar.
That's it. That's the story. It's like a little picture book. Jar Jar just going around throwing his tongue at things.
Yeah, throwing his tongue at things. There's one where Qui-Gon's holding his tongue. I told you, don't ever do that again, Jar Jar.
Yeah, he's the teacher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Qui-Gon just telling him what not to lick.
Yeah.
Don't get the juju fruit or whatever that frog, upside down hanging frog was.
And at the end, it all ties back into the Clone Wars. At the end, it's like he somehow creates this galactic civil war.
I worked really hard to get away from the Clone Wars, and you just brought us right.
He grabs his tongue and he's like, you don't do that. And he grabs his tongue, each chapter ends with, you don't do that. And then finally he does something like hits a enter on a computer button, and then it's like, okay, Order 66 happens. Shouldn't have done that, Jar Jar.
Rob, the next three, well, no, not the next one, but the first three Matt chats in June, I'm going to break down Matt Martin's comments and talk about them.
Who?
The guy from the story group who said that canon doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Doggo. Oh,
yeah.
Why don't you call him Pablo too?
See, that's the problem. You had a canon, a Legends canon, an amazing expanded universe that lasted decades. It's finally tossed out the window, and then it's like, we're going to make something that ties together. It's one huge canon, and then here we are. How many years into it? 4? It's been 4 years.
Yeah, if that.
5 years.
Yeah.
They've broke canon already.
And the thing is, according to Nathan Butler, the timeline was a disaster out the gate because he was trying to figure out, wait a minute, how can all this have happened here? If Luke, I can't remember what the example he gave. I can't remember. He said, wait a minute, in this book, Luke can't do this. In the comic book, he can. And then later on in the comic book that happened eventually, he can't. So what's the story?
Yeah. We have.
I can't remember what it was, but I remember Nathan did a short video why he was giving up on new canon because it was already out the gate, just not making sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I say out the gate, but I'm saying, the core 4 novels had come out.
The Marvel comic was in.
Rebels was out. The Marvel comic was out. And then after that started going on, he started noticing inconsistencies in the timeline and like bad ones too. And he's like, guys, how is this all fitting together? They said, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. No, I do the timeline. So he just gave up on the timeline because they weren't caring anymore.
Yeah.
And it's kind of degraded since then. I don't know of any other contradictions. You guys would because you've read it more. But, the timeline contradictions were supposedly so bad, Nathan gave up. He gave up.
I'm sure there's a lot of little ones that you just read over and you kind of don't notice it. But like the big one, like we talked about earlier, was it involved the Clone Wars with that Ahsoka character. And it's like, wait a second. This was in a novel established one way, and then they show you on screen something that's completely different. And you're like, this is with your head a little bit. You're like, okay, so which one are we doing here? I'm guessing this one because it's new.
It's Filoni being Filoni.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of the book or any of the canon. He does what he wants to do.
Because she had to write that book with his permission. I'm sure he read it. He fine-tuned it. He probably even said, well, you got to make sure that her lightsabers are buried here.
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably, did a little of that going on in there, if we can be completely honest, on my show.
Well, I mean, he may have used a shake weight. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's
he only reads with the shake weight.
Well, I mean, if he wants to pop up on a bottle of Yoo-Hoo, you got to shake it first. That's what it's there for. But the thing is, that's what I'm assuming, boys and girls. Anyway, but the thing is with that, it's such a shame that everyone thinks, because there's right now someone spamming my channel about how great Filoni is and how wrong he's the next best thing. He is the savior of Star Wars. He is the chosen one by Lucas. He speaks and like he's given all these fake quotes about Lucas saying that everything Filoni does is canon right there with his movies. But George never said anything like that.
I mean, like a few years back, I remember you saying this. I think it was on Princes of the Universe. You said like eventually he's just going to pop off with him, and he and George came up with Star Wars in '74. Yeah.
And to be honest, he's already doing that because the guy gave me another quote that Dave Filoni spoke to George Lucas, and George Lucas told Dave Filoni, "Your TV show is just as good as my movies." I spoke to George too, and he said, "You're full of garbage." There you go.
If that was all true too, he would why was he not involved with the new stuff right off the bat, like the movies? Wouldn't they have given him a movie?
Oh yeah.
Why would he have written the movies?
Yeah, the thing is, he's not the end all be all, and
they like to stroke his ego and the Mandalorian behind the scenes show they put on Disney Plus so people could continue subscribing.
And that's the thing. The whole thing about him being that great, he never was. He doesn't care about anyone else's storyline. He'll bust right through it because only his story matters. And that's just disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the stories that were established before. And he doesn't have any respect for any continuity unless it's his own stories.
Right.
Except the thing is, though, he didn't want to stay in his own sandbox. He'll just run ramshot through yours as well, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care what he messes up, and no one's going to tell him differently. And of course, already Clone Wars brings a wrecking ball to the continuity. I mean, what else is new? Because he doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, like that guy, that old man in Return of the Jedi that has the beard. Is it now supposed to be that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Rex.
Is it official? Did somebody say that?
That's what I heard.
Established at the end of Rebels. That's Rex. Even though wouldn't be alive by that
No,
point.
they have like accelerated lifespan, so he should be
Yes.
dead. Makes no sense.
What guy with the beard?
Oh, and part of Han's task force. There's an older guy as part of the rebels that he got a beard, but people were like, "That looks like Rex in Rebels," and then Filoni decided that was Rex.
Yeah, here's a picture of the guy.
Yeah, it was when Han tapped on that one stormtrooper and just ran off, and he's like around that corner holding a blaster at the stormtrooper.
He's also the one who tries to puts on the.
I know who he is. He's the one that starts taking off his clothes, kind of freaky deaky, and then he cut away, and then he's in that stormtrooper's clothes.
Mhm.
There was a deleted scene. It wasn't pretty for that stormtrooper. That's why they deleted it. But yeah,
It was like another 70s film that we won't talk about on here.
it just
I've played Battlefront 1 and 2. I liked the story for Battlefront 2. It's kind of fun.
Michael, what's it like hanging out with Matthew during holidays, weekends, family get-togethers? Does he fart a lot and blame other people? I mean, what kind of guy is he when he's around family? It's like, what was that? Kind of looks around like, was that you? You know, like instantly blaming someone else. Is he slick like that?
That's exactly what I do.
He's the kind of guy that will like drop something on the ground and pick it up at the picnic and put it back on the plate if no one sees. That kind of guy. I want to give me the lowdown. He's the guy that doesn't wash his hands before dinner. I mean, these are things. Give me a little dirt here.
Yeah. The Poe comic contradicted one of the children's books, and then I got away from the kids' books.
Yeah, that was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, Michael Bray, you talking about the EA ones? I played the first, but I didn't like it because almost no offline single-player content. Yeah, that was the bad thing about that first game.
That it didn't work well.
In Acker children's books. I don't remember. I don't know what that book would have been. The second one is way better. That's true. Guys, I will be right back.
Oh, you go ahead. Brian left it too. I'll take this. Don't worry.
I want to remove myself real quick.
Please do. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. I'd like you to take a oh, look out. Now I'm gone too. What happened?
What did I miss?
Okay, so anyway, now that Matthew's gone, let's have a vote. Wait a minute. Hold on. Michael Bray says, Matt is a one-of-a-kind guy. I love having him as a brother. Boo. He paid you to say that. I'm just kidding.
That's where he went. He went to give him some money.
Matthew says, hey, say something nice about me. That's nice. You have to say that, though, I guess, since you're married to his sister. So, I get it. That's fine.
This is one of the better Battlefield games.
Yeah.
I love this.
Brian, do you have nice in-laws?
Do I have nice in-laws? Yeah.
You have to say that.
I have the best in-laws, Matt.
You don't have any in-laws.
Exactly.
I can't wait till Talia gets married, and it's going to be just probably some guy that you're not going to like, and he's going to want to hang with you.
I basically don't care unless he's like rich, because it's not like my sister's going to work. Let's be completely honest right here, right now. Do you want me to get into real talk with my sister's boyfriend?
No. Oh, she has a boyfriend?
No. She was dating someone older than me, and it basically came down to he was too poor to be with her.
I thought she was going out with that Jack guy, Jack Daniels.
Oh no, the Jim and Bean.
Oh, Jim Bean.
Oh gosh, Talia, my sister, asphyxiated and like nearly died the other night, so she got banned from drinking.
Oh, good.
my mom had to stay up with her like all night because she went and partied like with her friends, and then she was like a hot mess and had to be like dragged out of the party, and like my mom had to go pick her up and took her home. And Talia deserves this. She was so embarrassing to be around the other night. So I'm just full on going to put her on blast right now. She just kept like puking, and then she passed out like on the couch and was just like continued to like do that. It had to be like rolled over and over again. It was apparently not fun, but I don't live with them.
Well, see, that's the time you do a live stream with her.
I was asleep. I had actually gone to bed. I was supposed to get her, but
I did want to ask about your latest video that you posted, like I think it was a week ago.
Yeah.
It was. I thought, at first you had this like happy face on. It's like how to contact me. I was like, oh no, this is a Tinder commercial.
Oh no, Matt. There's a sequel to that. I had to put someone on blast today on Instagram.
Oh, look out.
I'm sorry. Real talk right now.
Hey, YouTube rule number 5,342. Don't talk about personal life, Jeremy.
No, you don't. I don't care. This is what Backpedalers is about. We talked to previous episode of Backpedalers. We talked about my friend's brother burning down their garage. Like this is just how it be.
You were talking about Battlefront 2 earlier, man. I was just going to show you that.
Oh yeah, the original. So Mikey's talking me up. Okay.
Yeah, I know. We mentioned that. It was nice, Matthew. How you had to excuse yourself to go talk to your brother-in-law. Say, hey, can you say me?
Yeah, say some good things. It's funny.
Don't tell my fart at the family reunion.
Don't mention the biscuit incident.
Don't tell him. I'm sorry I blamed it on you last time. I swear, next time I won't.
It's funny. No, he actually sent a letter to my 5-year-old today. He just like drew up a little poster for him. It's pretty funny. It has Palpatine and Vader on it. It's good.
Right on.
Yeah.
But
what did you guys do while I was gone?
Oh, we were talking about my sister is banned from drinking now because she nearly asphyxiated on the couch. I didn't get to tell you that. I saved it for this.
So I love how there's a that. Is there a child crying?
Like, yeah, I thought I heard mine crying. I'm just like,
yeah.
Is that?
Like,
where's mine? Oh wait, I don't have one.
You got dogs? Did you have some dogs freaking out in the last stream?
Oh yeah, well they do that.
Yeah,
that's just a way of life for them.
Yeah.
You just have to open the front.
Dogs do.
That's how that happens.
Hey Matt, are you ever going to do a video showing like every single board game that you have? Like, let's do a board game tour.
I know. Someone asked me to do. Norm from the Board Game Museum wants me to do that, and so I told him I would. I mean, I haven't done a full tour of it, like a deep dig, but I will for him. He asked me a long time ago. I said, dude, most of them are on the floor right now, and I don't feel like digging through them. But now they have the shelf up, and before it gets too much, I'll do one with him. So yeah, I'll eventually do one.
I'd do it too, but it'd be like a 30-second video.
Yeah, I'd show you like all 2 of my games.
Well, I wanted to tell you, like afterwards, I went after y'all did the 1998 Godzilla watch, and I sat there and talked the whole time while Matthew was trying to watch the movie. I apologized to Matthew because I saw it and I was like, oh, this is a fantastic masterpiece, and I know why Matthew was perturbed with me talking through this masterpiece. This is just a great. The whole time I was entertained.
You had to get up and make some popcorn for it.
I was engaged. I was entertained. I had popcorn. I was absolutely loving it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, this is the best movie 1998 ever produced. Much less best Godzilla movie. I'm doubling down on that, folks. That's just fun. It is fun. You don't have a movie where, like I said, when they go with, they don't show Godzilla as much as you'd like. in a regular movie, he doesn't get that much screen time. He's not fighting other big monsters. But the thing is, though, because the character development is so interesting, you're okay.
Yeah.
And then the Jurassic Park scene at the end, you're okay with the characters getting a lot of the love there, because like, man, this is just fun. I'm invested in the storyline, absolutely loving it. So I mean, the whole way through, I was like, oh, what a great film.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch.
It is. Don't watch another Godzilla film. Oh,
See,
well, you already did.
I feel that way. I feel that way about Independence Day too. I know Jeremy doesn't like Independence Day, but I get that same feeling from that, like that fun, like, oh, this is fun.
I heard you say that, Jeremy, and I had to respectfully disagree about Independence Day.
Well, it's better than Resurgence. I
Cool.
would watch Independence Day.
Resurgence was the thing is, it's better. I mean, the original was better. Resurgence had a lot of problems. It was okay. The one thing that the wasted scene with the kids on the school bus that went nowhere, and you're thinking, why do we need this story? Because we need something for the dad to do. And I'm like, don't do it then. Just
don't
even have him in the story, or maybe have him do a cameo and just have him leave. I mean, it's like someone watched Independence Day and went, how can we copy this movie but make it different? And because it seemed to have that, you want to have all these random pieces like Randy Quaid, the crazy, drunk guy who's piloting your plane. I thought the kids on the school bus were going to do something. No, they're just there for no reason.
Drama. Gotta have a bus scene.
Michael Bray's got 2 board game reviews coming out. What 2 are you reviewing, Michael? Mikey? May I call you Mikey? Matthew calls you Mikey.
Matt, I have a board game that you should definitely try to track down.
What's that?
It's called Weapons and Warriors, and it's like you siege a castle.
Okay, pretty neat. The one I reviewed not too long ago, Yato, it's wonderful, wonderful game. Absolutely love that one.
Matt, do you have a half-price books in your location?
Sadly, no. The missus is a huge half-price books fan, and we have to go to Dallas. But when we go to Dallas, we always stop by at least one, maybe 2. There's a big one in downtown Dallas that she loves going to. We don't get to go downtown Dallas that much, but everywhere you can't.
Just come up to Oklahoma City.
There's like 3 within 30 minutes of each other.
The extra 4 hours.
And do you know why I love them? Because you can find, and they're always cheap, CDs that never got transferred into digital. So you can't, and some, because you think, oh yeah, well the big albums did, but some of the small children's albums, those didn't. They got pressed into a CD and forgotten through time.
Yeah,
the Chipmunks. I got the Chipmunks movie, the one in the 80s. I got that soundtrack. I got Music Machine. I don't know if anyone knows Music Machine, but I didn't even know we had the record growing up, but they pressed that record into a CD, and that's not digital. And so I found the Music Machine out. It's the same album I listened to as a kid on the record. I was like, this is awesome. And I've been able to find some really neat kids CDs through there for super like $10 usually or less. I'm like, man, that's awesome. So I've been able to find that. My wife likes the books. The book selection is kind of thin because no one's selling Stephen King novels. No one, the really good stuff, no one's selling. Now you can find some good Legend stuff there.
Oh yeah,
that's basically good Legend stuff that you can find.
85% of my Expanded Universe collection came from half-price books.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because it's a great deal for that.
They used to do. I haven't seen it as much anymore, like lately. But they used to have like box specials where it'd be like 4 to 5 books, and you get them for $5 for 4 books. Yeah, and they did that with a lot of the Star Wars books, so that's how I got a lot of mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man. What really annoys me now is that the one that we went to. They used to have like this whole section for movie novelizations, and now they just blended it in with everything else, and it's a nightmare to try to find things. And,
oh yeah, I remember when I asked them, like, "Oh yeah, well we just fit it in with the genre that it went to," and you're like, "Well, that sucks."
Like the only novelization I saw was for Ghost Rider.
Yeah, and in 2 different spots, clearance and like by the Star Wars.
To answer Rob D's question, I've never played HeroScape. it looks cool, but it costs too much to collect, and I want to have it all. Plus, it seems a little. I mean, that's meticulous to put that board together. Though there's all those pieces together. If you're into restoration games, I think I know what their big announcement will be later on this summer. I think I guessed the game. They never confirmed it, but I think I got it. I think I know what it is. And go ahead.
I was gonna say we saw that X-wing game that Dylan likes to play.
Dylan loves X-wing.
Armada.
Yeah,
Dylan loves X-wing like I love pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, that is true love.
Yeah,
Mike's gonna do the Star Wars Monopoly and Star Wars Clue edition game reviews.
Dylan loves ice cream. I mean, Dylan loves ice cream. Dylan loves X-wing game as much as Jeremy loves shaking up yoo-hoos. All right. Yakface says, "Hey, my big sister had the Music Machine record. That's awesome. That's awesome. Music Machine, Music Machine, like no other gadget that you've ever seen."
I found in my garage recently. I have like one of the older versions of Spider-Man Monopoly.
Oh wow! Some of those monopolies may be worth a lot. Like, some of the Marvel ones are.
There was a couple of years ago. I don't know how many years ago, they had a Ghostbusters Monopoly. I have that. And then now just recently they re-released a Ghostbusters Monopoly in like a different box, different design and everything. So I wonder if that value went up on the other one.
Maybe so. I hear, have you played Star Wars Clue, Matthew?
Mm-mm.
I hear it's different than regular Clue.
I mean, we just bought Clue last December, like the normal one, because it was like $7. We played it when we were at my the in-laws. Mikey was not there, and we had a lot of fun. It was like one of the games. Mother-in-law, she goes first, beat the game, like nailed everything.
Wow,
like that was impossible. She did it, but we were like, we got to get a copy of this game at the house, but we don't have anybody to play with. But now we have Adam.
Now you have Adam. This weekend is birthday bash board game weekend.
Saturday or Sunday?
But it's officially Sunday, but we're going to do it on Saturday, because this game right here, Jeremy, Twilight Imperium, 3 and 4. We're going to play the 3rd edition because they won't play the 4th edition anymore. But we're going to play with all the expansions, and we're going to just have an all-out battle of Twilight Imperium, and it's going to be great. Right now, tentatively, I have 6 players. I was trying to get 8, but someone in my game group kind of annoys me because he doesn't listen to rules, and I don't want to deal with that on my birthday bash board game weekend. So, and then the other guy is really sketch. He doesn't, I don't even know where he is. He's still living in town, but he wants to play, but then every once in a while, he's hard to get a hold of and get a response from him.
I'd love to play that sober.
No, you and Dylan just attacked each other the entire time and let me win the game. He and Dylan had this big match between each other. I mean, immediately I'm saying, okay, guys, remember, you want to watch out for everyone. Dylan turns and just sacks Jeremy immediately on the very first turn. And Jeremy's like, all right, it's on. And it's like, they just went at each other like little cats. And the whole time I'm going, okay, guys, hey, I'm on Mechatol Rex scoring victory points every round. And they're like, okay, we see you. And they're just fighting each other, and they're building up their forces to throw at them again. I mean, and then Dylan's like, okay. It's like 2 kids, like, okay, truce. Bam, 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 and then they start again, I'm like, that was the quickest game. I think it ended in like 3 hours. It was the quickest game or 2.5.
I think.
Was it 4? Okay. It was a quick game. But the thing is, though, I sat there and just grab point after point after point. We're going to end this because all they're doing is they're not looking at. I mean, I'll be honest, though, that's the trap of the game. The trap of the game, you lose yourself in the gameplay and you forget about how to score victory points. That's the beauty of that game. And you cannot, every time people play it, they always lose sight of the victory points and just start playing the game. I mean, that's how great this game is. Because you do want to fight people. You do want to do this. You do want to build up your technology, your political influence and stuff like that. It's just that awesome.
That was also the trip that I only won, I think, 2 games. No, 3. If we count when we
You-
tried out Here Kitty Kitty, I won that.
You won here, Kitty Kitty. What were the other two? He didn't win Galaxy Trucker because when the girl.
Oh, I feel so bad about this.
This girl was super nice to us. She's one of the volunteers, and she was. I said I was trying to get like one board game. I said, but it keeps getting rented out. She, don't worry, guys, I'll reserve it for you. And so she did. She got it for us, and she was always checking off everything. She was really nice. She went, "Hey, I'm going to play a game with you." I said, "Yes, play." I said, "Bring your favorite game." Her favorite game was a game called Galaxy Trucker. I'm not a big fan. I played it, but I'm not a big fan of Galaxy Trucker. It's really annoying. But so while she was given the instructions, and by the way, it is 7:30 at night. It's 7:30. Not even, it's past dinner. Jeremy is like this.
Oop.
So while she's giving the instructions, like it's that, and she goes, do you want to wake him up? I'm like, I'm so sorry. He has narcolepsy and Tourette's.
That was that whole thing was I had already slept in the middle of the day too. Like when we went to lunch, I like ditched it for a bit, and I think that was the day I passed out in the hallway, and I woke up and there was just a bunch of neckbeards around.
Oh gosh.
He was the first one to get to bed, and the last one to get out.
Oh, I know. I was off hardcore that whole trip. Like,
that's when we first met Spencer too.
yeah, I remember that.
You know Spencer TheGeeksAttic?
Well, wait.
Spencer Crilly, Star Wars Library.
He did some stuff on your during the.
Yeah, the Madness.
Yeah.
He has his own channel where he reviews Star Wars books. That's where we first met him. Look at that. Spider-Man.
I looked it up. I think the highest it's going for online is like $80.
Dang.
Jeez. Yak Face hated the dice in the Monopoly Millennium Edition 2000. They were oblong.
Oh, I don't remember that. I do remember the Millennium Edition, but I don't remember what they look like.
Scott Johnson, any of you ever play Star Wars Miniatures, the Wizards of the Coast version? Never played, but I started collecting the EU characters. They have quite a few of them.
Well, because Wizards of the Coast.
I have the complete Wizards of the Coast stuff there.
Nice.
Along with West End Games and Fantasy Flight.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Go down to your right. Look at those. Look at those hardcovers.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of those is signed, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the Eye of the World is signed by. Here you go.
Wait, what?
You've not heard that story?
Wait,
I met Robert Jordan.
I don't remember talking about that.
I met Robert Jordan a long time ago, and hold on, there it is.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Nice.
This book is worth a couple hundred.
No, it's like worth over $600.
Yeah.
Last I checked. Gosh, I found a copy at Half Price Books for $600, signed by Robert Jordan.
Yeah, got that one. Of course, some Chronicles of Narnia, Bone, which I love that comic book series. Harry Potter, of course, Dune, which is a great series. And then up ahead, that's the History of Middle Earth. Of course, I've got Book of Lost Tales, the book cover out there because I'm reading that one currently.
And a lot of Play-Doh.
Is that? Yeah. It's for one of your games, right?
Calvin, yes, for one of the games. The 1998 Godzilla game, which I'll bring out in a minute. That's the Calvin and Hobbes complete set. I've read that twice already. I will read it again. Love it. And of course, you've seen the things there.
Is that all of the Dune books? Okay, is that how many books are there?
There are.
Mikey wants to get his reviews out next week, he said.
I believe I'm counting 22. Now, I do have a 2-in-1, which is Doom Messiah and Children of Doom, but I think I count that as 2. And then I have the Tales of Dune, which I believe was, yes, it was self-published by Kevin J. Anderson's Wordfire Press.
Nice.
And it's expensive only because it was printed through his company. And this is just basically all this is all the ebooks and short stories that came out in magazines in book form.
That's cool.
And me, I love that. I had the ebooks, but I had to buy this. This is the most expensive one. I say expensive, just because it was kind of self-published by Wordfire Press. But this is the most expensive, most I had to pay for a Dune book. But I was like, you know what? I want them all. It's very thin too. But I said, cool. I want them all in book forms. That way, because I don't even know where those little ebooks are anymore. E-novellas, my Kindle's broke and I don't have it. And I may have it still in that Kindle, my Kindle app, but just as long as I have it there. So
I ordered this online like recently, and like from Half Price Books.
The 3-in-1 novelization, huh?
Yeah, it's like $20 on Amazon, and I got it for Half Price Books for like 11. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's still on its way.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm enjoying Book of Lost Tales. I'm telling you, every time I go into the world of Token, I just absolutely fall in love again. I just love everything about it. And it's been forever since this is my second time to reread, my second reread through Mr. Middle-earth. So,
Matt, I got a question. I'm assuming you've read all the Harry Potter books, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
About 3 times.
Oh.
You don't like Harry Potter?
No, it's okay.
Well,
I read the first book.
This third time I read through it, I don't think it's that good of a story now. She made too many powerful items that just don't make sense. If those exist in the world, then why didn't Dumbledore use them to destroy Voldemort a long time ago? It doesn't make sense. So,
well, the reason I ask is you're unfamiliar with the chapter in one of the books called The Unbreakable Vow.
Yeah.
Just to show how much my wife loves me, she wrote her wedding vows to me on our wedding day on that chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a first edition book too. So,
that's pretty cool.
Hold on, the second to the last bottom is massive. Is that 1,200? How many pages is that?
You're talking about that Robert Jordan book down there. Can't remember what the second to last book is.
Oh yeah, Towers of Midnight. That is one of his biggest books. And to be honest, I don't know why that one's bigger and a different size than the rest of them. Now I do know that
have them all in the book club size,
I do know I got them all in the book club size, but back then I don't think Memory of Light was part of the book club.
No, that just came out like
I think the Brandon Sanderson ones weren't. But the thing is, though, they're the same height. But for some reason, that Towers of Midnight is a beast to read through. I mean, that's probably his biggest one.
I really need to finish that series. I picked it after we had talked about it. I picked the book up and read I finished the chapter that I didn't finish like 6 years ago, and then I was like, all right, I got to pick this back up. And then I was like, quarantine happened, and I'm like,
well, see, when quarantine happened, everyone went to binge watching. I went to binge reading, and I think I will finish. I'm pretty confident I can finish the History of Middle-earth before my vacation in August. And if that's the case, I'm just going to go ahead and jump on Dune, because my next thing to do is read Dune in chronological order, just to kind of see how that goes. So I'm going to do my reread of Dune, and then I don't know what I'll read after that.
Are you going to see the new Dune movie when it's coming out?
Yeah, but I'm not going to rush to theaters.
I never saw the original stuff. I don't know anything about the story.
I can tell you that Jodorowsky's Dune is freaking made by a madman. 5-hour movie? What on earth? Matt, you've heard this story, right? Where they were going to make a Dune movie. It was going to be like a 5-hour thing, and then everyone that was involved went on to do things like Star Wars and Alien and Star Trek the Motion Picture and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was the Dune. Before, oh gosh. David Lynch made his Dune movie.
Matt.
Sting.
I remember that one. That's my favorite one.
Matt, what you need to read first, it'll probably take you your lunch break to read this book because it's only 218 pages. The Dragon Slayer novel is.
I saw on the stream you were talking about it.
You need to get it. We'll join a conversation next time. It's gonna be a quick read.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And you haven't watched the movie, you said, right? Didn't we confirm
I can't
that?
remember. I want to say I have, but I did find it, so I could watch it.
Okay.
I don't know.
So-
There's pictures in this. That's awesome.
Yep. It's got pictures from the movie in there.
The hardcover doesn't.
It doesn't?
I'm okay with that.
Sucker.
I don't like those. I find it breaks up the action of the book.
I mean, like, how cool is that? Like, it's like the most graphic scene from the movie. Little baby eats a princess.
Which one of y'all has the Willow novel?
I've got 2 copies. One of them.
Of course you do.
Well, when they're different covers, so I'm like, I can't remember if I can establish if one was like the European copy or something.
Did you read it?
I haven't.
I wonder if that's different. I mean, if it adds on more stuff to the movie, because the movie is a pretty fun fantasy romp. And now that I'm kind of curious about these novelizations to movies. I used to pass them up.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Highlander, the novelization is fantastic.
Yeah, I need to get me a copy. I want us to review that. To be completely
and now it's kind of been like, well, what else? I mean, because Brian, you've been Adam, you've been doing the same thing. Talking about all these novelizations to these movies. I'm thinking, well, maybe there is a little bit more to it than they explain a little bit more, and they're not as like, because the only thing I'd ever read was Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, which are just I just wrote what I saw.
Well, yeah, like I said in the Batman one that I did, they added like 2 alternate scenes, and I thought that was really cool because like when I thought about these scenes, visualized them, I'm just like, man, that actually would have been really cool in the movie, but it's kind of nice having those little
Going into Fox characters too, and little expansions of things. I mean, like to me, like the Force Awakens by Alan Dean Foster novelization was not good. It added like one thing, and it was just straight up like, here's the movie, and you're like, this isn't what I wanted.
The only thing, and you're talking about what the prequel to Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, with Ari Salvatore's.
Oh yeah, it was the Approaching Storm, right?
Alan Dean Foster wrote Approaching Storm. Yeah.
Is it okay? Yeah, that one. Yeah, very forgettable.
Great.
His
Alien books are better.
Sorry, I was looking around. Rob D asked what my favorite movie poster was. I'm trying to decide which one. Probably.
I don't know if he's going to do a video of this because he doesn't do many videos right now, but that's a nice one. Chris shot me a picture of this earlier this week. He found a Vaughn Heir to the Empire promo, a promotional item, that's super rare because that was one of the first, that was the first of the new.
I didn't know that.
He only has 2 of them. He said one he found because he saw around the area, and this one he just happened to just fall over, and no one bids on those because like who cares about this? So he gets it for cheap. Oh yeah, here it is. Will it do it? Nope. I'll have to.
Oh, let me show off some of these limited run PS4 games I got. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Over to the side, but that is really cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Let me get it there.
It's awesome.
Sick. I used to, Matt. Did I ever show you? I used to have a Dark Empire 2 promo poster.
And this is why I love Chris. He goes for the odd. He bought the Family Circle magazine from the 80s, from 1980. Why? Because there's an interview talking about Yoda. Look at Yoda for the upcoming Empire Strikes Back movie.
That's insane. I've seen that art before, like behind the scenes.
It was in a magazine called Families. What? But you can see it right down there. The Empire Strikes Back.
It's crazy.
It's like, why?
Let me
It was
show these
59
off.
cents. Yeah, August 5th, 1980, 59 cents. And it had an article about the newly released Empire Strikes Back, Unlearn What You Have Learned. I mean, that's just, what?
That's
What?
crazy.
How does he find this stuff?
I don't know. He is so fascinating with with all his first prints of things.
What do you have, Jeremy?
I showed these off in our private chat, but these are limited run.
Nice.
These are PS4 ports of PS2 games. Got Racer Revenge, which is the sequel to Episode 1 Racer, and Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the Jango Fett game that I absolutely adore. But yeah, these are deluxe from limited run. I think they're sold out now.
Wow.
But they all
use
adorable trading cards.
I still got to play the Jedi Outcast game. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I pre-ordered Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy for Switch on limited run, like
That's
deluxe
awesome.
days.
Are you gonna play them or just like display
Oh, I own
them?
them digitally.
Do what?
I own them digitally already, so
Okay.
I've already played them. So
Okay.
these are going to go on the shelf for chronological purposes.
Awesome. Yeah. Put those in order as best you know how, man.
I try. Matt, we need to do a Clone Wars continuity podcast on Legends. Yeah, you've traversed it, but we need
I passed that. I'm not going back to that.
we need to go back. We need Joe Bongiorno on there. We need to debate because
Yeah, I want to say to Mikey, go over to Bryant's Nerd Pub and subscribe. He did a video about this recently.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking forward to doing Batman Returns. I was debating about doing it on Christmas.
Yeah, you say that was your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Please don't boot me.
Rob D, when I first saw the Jaws picture, I thought, are sharks really that big?
I was going to say in most movies today they are.
Yeah.
Megalodons.
They're a lot bigger now in the movies.
Shark Attack 3, where they just superimpose people falling into cockroach of sharks' mouths.
Yeah, that was... I actually met the guy that was in that movie, John Barrowman.
What, really?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I mentioned it, like, I was like, hey, man, I remember the first movie I saw of you. It was the Megalodon movie. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm sure you remember that one line that was in it. I'm like, yep.
Did I tell you?
Oh, yeah, that's one of the best pickup lines I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say it's not appropriate to say right here. I'll tell you guys later.
We could say it on Backpedal.
Do you know what my wife said to William Shatner? She said, I just want to say I loved you in Rescue 911.
It's those things from childhood, right?
And he looked at her like, are you mocking? I mean, it was his face like, I don't know if you're mocking me or being serious. He went, thank you. Like he didn't know how to take that. And I was like,
That's awesome.
like, oh my, you just told Shatner you loved him in World Rescue 911.
That's awesome.
Yes, I love that show. He was the host. I said, yeah, I know, but no one says that. She went, really? Because that's what I know him from. I don't know him from Star Trek.
Yeah, same here.
I love your wife. It's just great.
It was great. No, it was really awesome. It was really awesome. I cannot. I'm so happy that she did that. That was great.
I mean, I've always had this goal of finding a VHS copy of Corvette Summer and having Mark Hamill sign it.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah. Jeff Probst was the man from Survivor fame. I know him from Rock and Roll Jeopardy, the only Jeopardy that I was ever good at answering the questions at back in the day.
What were you going to say, Adam? Did you have something?
Oh, I was going to tell Matt, I was talking to these two the other day. Like, me and my wife and a friend of ours are planning a trip to go to one of the Comic-Cons in Texas. There's one in Amarillo and one in Austin, but we were debating. But the one in Austin will have Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's going to be loads more expensive, and I'm like, man. The other one's going to be cheaper, but at the same time, it's, I don't know.
Life's short, man. especially when you're 80.
Yak Face. I once told Bo Jackson I loved him in Techno Bowl. For those who don't get that, in Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson was the man back then. Tecmo Bowl made Bo Jackson an unbeatable player. If Bo got the ball, you weren't going to catch it. Bo could run circles around anyone. And unless you were really stupid, you always got a touchdown with Bo Jackson. So Bo Jackson was like the super player in Tecmo Bowl. And Yak Face, that is hilarious, man. That is up there. he was overpowered. He's infamous. Tecmo Bowl is infamous for having that, because you could not. You were banned on playing the Raiders in that game. If you were going to play the game, you could not be the Raiders. But the thing is, there was a balance. You just didn't know it enough. Jerry Rice in that game never missed a pass. Jerry Rice would catch anything Joe Montana threw at him in that game. Anything. He could be double covered. Jerry Rice would catch it. So I think that was a little overpowered. But Bo Jackson is the most overpowered because he was like super duper fast and you couldn't catch him because Bo knows Tecmo Bowl.
I gotta go ahead and make a question off like what you just said. Like you made a rule, no one can be the Raiders. What other video games have you guys played where you had to make rules for other people, like on multiplayer games?
Oh, I think for mine it'd be like in GoldenEye. Like I was the only one that could be James Bond or something.
Really? See, mine is from GoldenEye too. On the Nintendo 64, we had the no odd job rule. No one could be odd job.
That's it. That we had that rule too.
Because he's too short. It's like every time you turn a corner, you'd get shot because he's like we're shooting a live stream. Like I'd be odd job. Like see, you can't see me.
There was also the no golden gun rule where one hit kills you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated GoldenEye. I played Duke Nukem 0 Hour, and I was the rebel in that one.
Sure.
But one of my rules was we were so good at Mario Kart that we would play you hanging upside down. We'd lay on the coffee table and then tip our head back, and we would play you upside down, and we could still beat you.
Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64?
Both.
Both.
We had gotten so good at it that no one would play us anymore. So the rule was that we had to lay on our coffee table and tip our head back upside down and play you upside down, but we still would win.
Did you guys have the you couldn't be this one character? Because I know like in some, like either Yoshi or Toad was the fastest.
I think Toad was the fastest. I don't think we had rules in that one.
Mm-hmm. The only game I can think of where we had rules for was in high school when Steam bought the server for Battlefront 2. If we were gonna play online, it would be 4 of my friends against me, and I'd still win, no matter what game mode we were playing, no matter what side I was on, because it was the only game that because my sister's also really good at Battlefront 2. Like it was the only game we had that was multiplayer. So for 2 years, that's all we played was Battlefront 2.
Yeah. Face, just want to make a comment. Yeah, Ryan Kendall is so scary on how many times he dies.
He's pretty bad.
I could beat that guy. I'm just trash talking. I could beat that guy with both hands tied behind my back. I just play with my teeth.
I'm horrible at games.
Yeah. So Matt, when you beat him, do you just say the Snyder Cut sucks?
Snyder Cut sucks. Screw the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. We need
Hey, you know what? I'm happy it exists because everyone will get to see the same crappy movie, maybe even worse than the original release.
Maybe it would be the montage his movies are.
It's Zack Snyder, folks. You're forgetting who it is.
Yeah, is he going to just include deleted scenes and maybe some CGI inserts?
I'm sure they're going to change up a lot of stuff since now it's coming out on HBO Max. And it was like, yes, the one we've always wanted to see. Yes, and it's still going to suck. And here's the thing. Two things are going to happen. Either it's going to really suck and they're going to have to pretend to like it, or it really sucks and they're just going to have to stop talking about it.
It will be the former. I say it now because Zack Snyder fans are like a cult of weirdos.
There's no, and I don't even like Jack Snyder that much. And the thing is, Justice League's going to suck all around. And by the way, I'm the hugest DC fan. I love DC over Marvel. I wanted Justice League to be good. There's no way to make that movie good. There's only one good scene in Justice League, and that's when Superman, when Flash is running circles around Superman, but then he notices Superman is moving at the same speed. That's really cool. Other than that, nothing was cool about that movie.
You're talking about same fan base that forgives Sucker Punch.
Did I ever see that movie? I don't think I did.
That is the bottom of the barrel.
In fact, I want to see the Snyder cut of Shaquille O'Neal's Steel while we're at it.
Yeah, let's have the mud tone.
Let's get that. Let's get the Snyder cut of Tank Girl. Let's get the Snyder cut of Halle Berry's Catwoman while we're at it.
Let's see the Snyder cut of The Rise of Skywalker.
Please, let's see that too.
Let's get the Snyder cut of I don't even know Dawn of the Dead. This remake of it, where someone else edited it.
Yeah, like the only thing I really want to see deleted scenes wise is all the deleted scenes from the original Star Wars trilogy. We even know there are some scenes that Lucas still didn't put on the Blu-ray, like the sandstorm scene, which you can find.
Return of the Jedi. That's on the Blu-ray. Yes, it is.
It's on the Blu-ray?
Yeah.
The sandstorm scene.
Yeah. At least part of it when they get to the ships. That's on the Blu-ray.
Okay. Well, I mean, they showed the Wampa attack scenes, which, to be honest, I thought didn't exist. I'd heard that long ago, and I heard they had footage, and it was on Evan Strikes Back, an old website. And he was talking about how he was talking about how the deleted scenes went. I was like, none of that's true. All of it later, 20, 40 years later, here it is. I was like, shut up.
That's crazy.
I mean, I didn't know the whole subplot in Return of the Jedi to blow up Endor was a thing until the Blu-ray.
There's an uncut version of, there's tons of stuff about Luke that they left out of the Blu-ray. Luke on Tatooine. There's tons of footage because it was supposed to start with Luke. Because that's what
there's the scene with him constructing the lightsaber and Vader's trying to talk to him, because that was a finished scene that they cut out last.
But it's on the CD Beyond the Magic. Luke Skywalker on the farm. A droid breaks a circuit. He looks at it and goes, "Oh man." Gets in his thing, then goes to see Biggs for the first time at Tashi Station.
Yeah.
And he sees Canny and Fixer as they go outside and watch the battle. And then he has that long talk with Biggs. They build up Biggs so that you care about him when he dies later on.
Yeah.
And one of the things missing in the original A New Hope is that when Biggs dies, you don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, they're friends because that little get together right before they go on the run. But
the original that's a special edition thing that they added that.
But I mean, you have the original. Well, they did put that in their special edition, but the Boba Fett scene Jabba the Hutt scene where Jabba's this big fat dude.
Yeah, he was a Scottish man.
And there's an uncut Mos Eisley scene, Cantina scene.
Yeah, I sent that to these guys. They had never seen the rough cut of the Cantina.
Oh, really? Han sitting there, and that girl has a name. I can't remember her name right now, but she's part of the EU. They put her in the EU. I remember about how Han was hanging out with that girl for just a short time in the cantina.
Rob D actually mentioned something that Matthew was talking about the other day, messaging us. I think it was that woman that was wearing Han Solo's clothes.
Yeah. See, a woman is talking to Han.
Oh, is that a different girl?
Yeah, I guess so. Me and my 5-year-old were watching A New Hope the other day, and he hasn't seen the whole thing through. He's always made it like halfway through for the past couple of years, and he actually watched the whole thing, and he just kept talking through the whole thing to me. Like, just watch the movie, and all your questions are going to be answered. So at the end. At Mos Eisley, I see some woman walk down the street wearing Han Solo's clothes. It's the first time I'd ever seen that. It made me laugh. I was like, I got to tell somebody. So
They should have made a short story about how some thief robbed him of his clothes.
Yeah, well, it's like Greedo. You see all those aliens, whatever they're called, Rhodians, wearing the same clothes. But you can call that a uniform, you know?
Yeah.
Jabba's uniform.
True. But all those deleted scenes I mentioned are on that CD-ROM behind the magic. I have it somewhere. But I was like, why don't we see all those? Why can't we see everything? I just don't understand why we couldn't see all that other fun stuff. And I do not think that Sandstorm scene is on that Blu-ray. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
It is.
I know I've seen it somewhere. I just can't remember where.
It is.
I think I have the Blu-ray. I can check sometime.
I have it too. I can pull it up.
Let's all just turn it on and watch it right now.
Watch along 1 in the morning.
Master 76. Hello. Legends readers. That's right.
Yep.
We got Michael said, anyone looking forward to the Lego Star Wars saga? I am, he says. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really have anything I'd want to play it on.
My 5-year-old, he might want to play it. That might be a good one to get him for his birthday.
Lego games on PC are pretty terrible, FYI. I'm very picky on what I get for my Switch to play. Like, the only game I've really enjoyed on there is they did a remaster of the Castlevania games. I've been enjoying playing the original Castlevania.
Castlevania is a pretty fun story. I've been watching the anime, but I haven't finished it yet.
Yet to watch that because I'm worried it's going to be too anime-ish and I'm not going to like it.
Scott says there's a scene with Jer Gerard walking down the corridor with Vader that is missing from the Blu-ray.
Yeah, there's a scene on the Blu-ray of we see the Royal Guards almost in action because Vader chokes them off.
Yeah, isn't there a bunch of like technicians standing around in that scene? Or am I thinking of something else? With
yeah, was he choking them or was he shaking a YouTube? I mean, a yoo-hoo.
Wait,
who knows?
My son, he was blown away by Darth Vader. We started watching Empire Strikes Back too, and we made it about halfway through before it was like we got to turn it off. But when Vader he choked one of the guys through the monitor, he looked at him. He's like, Darth Vader's super powerful. He did that through the TV. Like, yep.
What was the one you told us?
No, Matthew, that's when you start going.
Yeah. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Son, turn it off quick. Dad, no, Vader, no.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Scare
your kid. Have your wife look at you real mean for the next couple of hours or a day and a half.
His jaw dropped when the Death Star blew up in A New Hope. He was like, I was watching him, and he's like, Darth Vader's planet blew up.
Wait, didn't you refer to Darth Vader having an office?
Yeah, oh crap, what was that he said? I sent it to you guys.
That would be the best thing in the world, watching it with your kid.
It was fun. It's sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's really annoying because he doesn't stop talking. It's always like, does Darth Vader get a new house or does he live in his spaceship? Does he live in his TIE fighter?
Jeremy, I can't wait, Jeremy, till you meet your illegitimate son and y'all watch the Star Wars trilogy together.
Which one?
There you go. Hey,
on that, go ahead.
I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. I gotta get to work in the morning, so I gotta go. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I had to get that Clone Wars talk out of the way.
I know. I did my best to steer us away from it. We kind of hit back on that topic a few other times, but
I was gonna say I showed these guys, but I have a video of me holding my baby, and I light up one of my lightsabers, and she sees it, and then she just looks at the camera, and she's all smiling and happy. I'm just like, that's a good sign right there.
The girls were pulling out some of my books, and some were the pop-up books, and Piper absolutely was like, oh, and they both sat down in my lap and looked at the pop-up books. They popped up and everything. So I was like, yeah, just wait till we get some Ewok. And they always love playing with the Ewok piggy banks I have. So, raising them right. Can't wait till it's Ewok story night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read another Ewok story? You betcha.
Just wait till you take them to the Redwoods.
Oh man, I can't wait till they both fall asleep hugging Yub Nub.
It's like one of the stuffed animals I had when I was a kid. Now my son has that, and it made the news. It was on the news with him. So
Oh yeah, that was
that clip. That little dog.
I thought it was great.
Thanks. It was on another channel tonight, so a different news source. So it was crazy.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gotta go, guys.
All right.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
See you, man.
Matt. It's fun talking to Matt.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what he said about having an office. I was trying to skim through our conversation, but I can't find it anywhere. That was funny.
I mean, we have to go to. Does that mean they have to go to Darth Vader's office or something?
I found somewhere near here it says we are finishing the second half of A New Hope today. Kenobi and Vader are fighting now, and Asher asked, "Why aren't they just using the Force to choke each other?" Yeah, it's Jeremy. You replied something like, where was it? Crap. Some of these things get scattered. You said something about if you made the movie, everybody would be choking each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, telling Jeremy had made everyone choke each other. If you made it, everyone would be choking each other.
Yeah. No one would shoot each other in that opening scene in Star Wars. Everyone would jump on each other and just start strangling one another.
Gosh.
They'd be trying to strangle R2D2. It's just not possible.
My 3-year-old always, every time R2D2's on the screen, he's like, BB-8, BB-8. I'm like, no, that's R2D2. He's like, D2D2. I'm like,
Close enough.
it's all right.
Gosh.
Just call him whatever you want, I guess.
I forget how horrible I am in this chat. I just say horrible things and I'll send like 5 messages and just wait for everyone to read it.
Oh, man.
I said something about wanting to be rich and drive a Ferrari around. And then a whole slew of other things that aren't appropriate.
Yeah.
And then Adam said he wanted to join in, and I said he couldn't drive my Ferrari.
I think it's going to be a nice conversation about Ferraris, and it turns out being something you're like, I need to burn this message.
You're like, oh God, I hope my wife doesn't see this.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, Jeremy. Like, there's times like we'll be sitting on the couch watching TV, and I get like one of your messages, and I'll be like, and then she'll be like, "What's so funny?" And all I have to say is, "Jeremy." She's like, "Oh my gosh."
This whole started because I popped up with when I have to abridge this because we're on your channel, Matthew. Like I have to clean this and make it a PG-13.
Long story, or go ahead. I'm sorry.
When the metal music kicks in, you know her butt's getting.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I laughed and I said like, "This is funny." And then my wife was doing dishes, and I was just like, he just said this, and I said that to her, and she was like, just turned around, and she was just like. And I'm just like, nowadays I'm just like, yeah. I just chuckle, and then I just say, and she's just like, oh boy.
Yeah. Here's me whenever I see that kind of stuff. I'm like,
I'm not even that bad in the chat. There are other chats I'm far worse. I think we were a lot worse to each other in the reviewers chat, Matthew.
oh yeah.
There were no holds barred at times.
That's
Especially, I was really into changing everyone's names.
Yeah, to the point where it's like, who is this person? Because there'd be like 1 or 2 people that would never say anything, and when they finally did, the nickname had been changed, and you're just like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, like I kept changing Dylan's name to John Sadler, just over.
Yep, I remember that. I have a question.
Hmm.
Your T-shirt, is that Boba Fett?
No, that's the Mandalorian.
Okay, that was
This-
gonna be my second guess. Looks
Ashley
like a cool.
Stein has her own brand of clothing called Her Universe, and she does Star Wars shirts. Yeah,
Okay.
they are not made well. FYI,
Mm.
I have another one that's the Mandalorian logo thing, and it has holes in it, and I've only had it for 2 months, maybe 3 months.
That's too bad.
I have this one from tonight.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I actually got this at Disney World.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
It was at Epcot, and it was at that portion at Epcot where they have Japan, and that's where I found it.
Wonder how much money Disney had to pay for that.
Good to say that.
That's why I always wonder when Disney has a weird property, like when they had Star Tours stuff. I was like, how much money do they pay Lucasfilm for the buyout in order to have?
I think I remember reading about Monsters Inc. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater when it came out.
Well, there's this scene where Sully's like, "Hey, Ted, good morning," and then you see this lizard-looking foot, and then it's like a chicken clucking. And then, apparently that they originally wanted that to be the Godzilla roar, but I think Toho didn't want to give away the rights to it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Gosh, I had Monsters Inc. on VHS. And it was awesome because it was a blue tape.
That's cool.
When I was a kid. It was one of the last VHS tapes we bought. We switched over to DVD within a year of that.
I can't remember the first DVD that we had.
I can tell you the first two because we bought them at the same time. It was The Phantom Menace and Sorcerer's Stone. My parents were really upset because Phantom Menace was only on widescreen.
Yeah, I remember getting widescreen stuff and being like, man, why did we buy the widescreen?
I loved it. I always loved widescreen.
My dad, the first DVD I got was the Raimi Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
And I have the actual collector's pack, and I was like, man, I wanted it was a widescreen, and my dad got so mad because I convinced my mom to buy the VHS because it was full screen, and he was like, what, really?
That's funny.
I've always loved widescreen.
Yeah. After I understood, I remember seeing Ghostbusters for the first time in widescreen. Blew my mind because there was stuff going on the sides that I never saw before. Like when they're talking about the price when they just busted the ghost in the hotel, it always shows Venkman saying the price. Widescreen, he looks off camera on the full screen to Egon, who's telling him 4,000, and he's saying stuff.
I've never seen Ghostbusters on any format but DVD, or unless it was on television. I've never seen it in 4x3. Because that's one of my favorite parts of that movie.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to ask you for 4 big ones, and yeah. Yeah, I never saw that stuff before the widescreen, so when I saw that, I was like, what? There's all this stuff going on.
I mean,
cool.
My favorite thing because everything's shot, and it's not even 16:9. It's cropped to 16:9. It's actually bigger.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is when they crop it to 4x3, but not from the 16:9, but from the original, and they leave too much headspace.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Death Wish 3, it was like that, and the ceilings were just gigantic. It's almost like you'll see a boom mic at times because it's not meant for that.
Yeah. It's crazy. They do some wild stuff with all this technology and aspect ratio crap. It gets confusing sometimes, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just imagine filming it. It's even more confusing. I've come across that problem too, where you have to crop. Where it was on Who Killed Jeremy Rampell. So we shot on a wide angle for a camera, but I ended up becoming a cinematographer on that, which I'm not credited for, and I was directing scenes when I wasn't supposed to because we were behind. So I was camera B, and we were shooting the B-roll stuff. I was using my A6300 in the kit lens. Well, and I was shooting in 4K, which is the other camera was shooting at 1080p. Unfortunately, when we got the dailies back, my stuff was cropped, and I had to manually drag out the shots to make them look right.
Mhm.
Such a pain. It took like 4 hours of doing
Jeez.
that. But it deteriorated down to 1080p, so the whole thing was in the correct.
Well, that's funny how it worked out. Then.
Yeah. Well, that's just what happens when you mess with shots. It deteriorates. That's why people will shoot in like 8K and edit it down to 4K. So that way you can do a lot of post-production on it and like do a lot of effect shots. I know that Linus Tech Tips, for instance, does that.
On that note, I have a question. Like
I'm-
I've seen people like on YouTube, like they're film critics, and they do they show their like movie room, and they have like this curved TV,
Oh,
and I was just like, it's like curved, kind of like this.
yes, that's a thing.
And I'm like, I heard that I don't know if you guys, I've never seen anything on it, but I've heard that apparently it's great for like 4K or something.
I don't see a difference, to be completely honest, and I have pretty good eyesight. I just don't like the look of them. Like, I fundamentally hate them. If I can be completely honest, they look wrong.
Yeah, it's like a poster on your wall that's just kind of warped.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's dumb. It's really dumb.
It's dumb. Over here in the comments, we got Scott says didn't get a DVD until Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, wow.
That's a long holdout.
Probably, I think my first 2 DVDs were Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, and I won't get rid of them because almost all the special features are not on the Blu-ray.
Yes, well, Sorcerer's Stone had that stupid like digital game in order to get to the deleted scenes. I actually remember, I think I showed this to you, Matthew, way back in the day when I bought that Harry Potter Deluxe set, the 33 disc like monstrosity I was going to do on disc case problems. Like, we're talking like 4 years ago. I never did it, and then it burned in the fire.
Gosh, that sucks.
But it was a 33 disc set. It was a monstrosity. It didn't fit on anything. Even Kubrick set.
I was gonna say, I think you need to have your brother-in-law sit down for a Ghostbusters marathon.
Yeah, I'm going to talk with him about that. We're going to get down to that. We got Scott Johnson. I recorded the Genndy Clone Wars off the TV.
Oh, I did too. I taped season 4 of Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars when it aired. Like, they did a whole marathon right before Revenge of the Sith came out, and we sat and watched it.
Yeah. I remember watching those. Me and my roommate would get back from our college class and go watch an episode after it dropped online.
They're
What
starting
was your
to
college?
they're starting to release all that Baby Yoda like merchandise, like the Funkos and the dolls, and like I'm seeing YouTubers like go crazy over them.
Yeah, they're gonna have it's like a motion activated Baby Yoda Black Series thing.
I mean, I was gonna say I thought he was cute, but I don't know if I would go that far. I mean, I mostly just thought it was funny that he like relating to it, like you see your kid put something in their mouth, like when he was swallowing that space frog, and we're like, as a parent, you're like, hey, spit it out, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, my 5-year-old, he's what, 4 at the time or 5, I don't know, whatever. He saw that scene and he cracked up laughing, like that was funny. Submaster 76, I saw Ghostbusters in theater. What year was that? It was 84.
No, it was 2016.
Ew.
Don't boot me. From my own show. Booted.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm tired of always the one getting booted. Someone else has to.
Yeah, Michael Bray. I've never seen Ghostbusters, sadly. What, Mike? Ugh. I need to boot you off of here. Especially after the next comment. I have seen the new Ghostbusters with the women.
That was Matthew's favorite movie novelization. He said,
There it is. He did it again.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's gonna be so weird on the recording us doing that because it's still recording like me.
Oh.
So it's not gonna make a difference.
Oh, okay. Dang. It was make a click. No, Robbie, I could be wrong, but I think the purpose of the curved screen is that you won't get a glare from other light sources on the TV.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about
doubt
that.
it. I fucking doubt it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just. I don't know. I thought it was just because like it was just. I don't know. It's like you're looking into the screen. I don't know. Like
I thought it was some sort of technological terror that they've constructed that I don't understand.
It's like, remember 3D TVs? Remember that awful Sony product? Let's have 3D Blu-rays.
Yeah.
wasn't those the one that like the TVs were like what, $3,000?
Yeah, they were stupid. I'll never forget when the PS3 had to have this massive update to support those type of Blu-rays.
I saw a vlog someone I subscribe to, and apparently they're coming up with these new TVs where you can like it's like a puzzle. You put the screen together and it makes like one big screen like as big as a wall or something.
Oh, like it's different little panels?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that's not actually far from what I do with my 2 monitors
Yeah, that's my work monitor.
at times.
I'll see if I can find it and I'll send it to you guys later, but
Submaster 76 was 8 and 84.
I was non-existent.
Was 0.
I was -10.
I was just another year. Guess that came out in June, I think. So
My brother was born in that year. One of my brothers.
8 months after the movie came out, I was born. I don't want to think about that.
When you were talking about, I went to when we got home from college to watch Ginny Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. I'm like, when I got home from 4th grade. There was one of my favorite conversations that I've had with Matthew was he sent me a picture of him in 8th grade, and I sent him the same year a picture of me in. Oh God, no! It was. Ooh. No, it wasn't 8th. I think it was you were in high school, and then it was me in kindergarten.
It was like years fast forward, and here you are talking Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's funny.
At least you're not like Matt, where I did the math one time, and Matt was graduated a year before I was born. Oh no, a year after I was born.
Could have been your dad.
Yeah, I know. I said that.
It's so weird. Guys, I think I need to head out of here. It's getting late.
I think it's time. We've been recording for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, 3 if you count our last show, Paper Movies.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
It's
check out
Submaster.
Paper Movies.
Yeah, Submaster 76. I didn't see in our last stream we did tonight. We talked about Godzilla. It was a fun video.
I'm going to hold my book up because I just like to point out that Jeremy doesn't have it.
This is an audiobook, which is a good audiobook.
And then next month we're doing this. Which Star Wars fans, I'm telling you, Star Wars fans are going to like this because, well, the movie has old Palpatine in it.
Palpy boy.
We'll
never do that again.
McDiarmid's in there. And it's kind of got some familiar stuff in it. It's really cool. But Jeremy, did you want to do a cool sign out of here for your podcast?
No.
No. Okay, just ended
the recording.
I'm surprised you didn't say like wash your hands with urine now.
No, I did nothing. I'm too tired. Actually, I'm really hungry and I kind of want to steam some rice, but it's 11:30 here.
Oh yeah. Well, just go grab you some In-N-Out.
It's just. I don't know. They might not be open right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining. It's fun.
All right.
Enjoyed both the shows tonight. So, bye everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Later.
See you next time.
I gotta hit the end button.